Hello and welcome to another episode of the Birdie Golf Club podcast. And this week, back to a bit more usual sort of scheduling of having a guest on. Last week, I sort of rambled on about Tommy Fleetwood for a long time, and I don't know if people really liked it. So we're back. We're back to where we should be of interviewing people that I want to talk to in the world of golf and learning about them and their lives. And this week, we've got Matty, also known as the Alt Golfer on
Yeah.
Instagram. Matty, thank you so much for joining me on this extremely hot evening in the UK.
No, I'm absolutely melting, John. So yeah, thank you for joining me, mate.
No problem at all, mate. No problem at all. Matty, I came across your Instagram page probably like right at the inception of me making mine. Um,
Hmm,
and I instantly sort of taken with like your way of sort of portraying your world of golf.
okay.
Because it's not, you know what I mean? Like the way you've put it as well, like the alt golfer shows
Yeah,
that, you're not necessarily like the way you dress and everything like that isn't necessarily what people
traditional. Yeah,
associate with
yeah,
golf,
yeah,
right? So
yeah. That's it.
what's your golfing story? Like where did it all begin for you?
Golf started with me when I was a nipper. So it started with me roughly around the age of, I probably want to say like maybe like seven, six, seven, around that sort of time. So
Hmm.
my mum is the golfer,
Right.
and my mum was getting into golf, and um, he was obviously having lessons and things like that, bring me down to the driving range, and then, the pro stuff covered my hand, and I was hitting golf balls. And then I didn't really like, I dabbled here and there as a kid, but didn't have the attention span for it. And then it wasn't until I got to about sort of 11 or 12. And
Mm.
then I was actually homeschooled from that point,
Right.
for suffer with ADHD. So
Okay.
I got diagnosed with that in the sort of like late 90s, early 2000s.
Hmm.
And so I was homeschooled just because I struggled at school, and my after school activity or after tuition activity was golf, and that was with
Yeah.
my mum. And so it was every single day. We'd be out on the golf course. I'd be there till dark. My mum would drop me off at the golf course, leave me there because we lived in a little countryside. And that's basically how I got into golf. And then golf stopped probably when I was about 18, 19,
Hmm.
because I was playing ice hockey at the same time as well.
Oh,
And it
right.
was
Wow.
kind of, yeah, it was kind of the crossover. It was kind of which one I enjoyed more. And then it was kind of like hockey at the time was a bit more exciting, and that kind of took over. And then, you get older, 18, 19, start going to pubs, starting to hang out with mates. And then the golf just kind of drifted off until probably until my 30s. So
Mm.
it was about 5 years ago that I got back into golf. So I didn't actually hit golf all through my 20s at all.
Right.
So, um, and it was actually, uh, like my sobriety got me into golf. So
Right.
I
Okay.
struggled massively, like it got me back into golf because
Mm.
I was struggling with like basically alcohol and drugs.
Yeah.
And through my like early 20s, that was something that I was struggling with, like bad mental health, and
Yeah.
issues and stuff like that, and that's what kind of like led me down that path.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then got into my like sort of late 20s, and it was about 28, yeah, 28, and then that's when I went into my sobriety, stopped all of that, and and the party lifestyle and everything like that, and I kind of like completed the sobriety. I was 2 years in, and I was kind of like, I don't know what to do with my time anymore.
Mm.
My time before that was just being like, focusing on that. And there was a couple of guys that I was working with at the time, and it was during the summer, and I saw them going out to the golf course, and oh, that brings back some memories of when I was younger. And then I did nothing about it until like the winter. I left it another 6 months after that thought. You'd think I'd be like straight down the golf course, but I didn't. I left it for quite a while, and then I literally got a cheap set of I think what it was. It was Callaway X Tour irons. I think they were from like 2008. So it was something
Yeah.
that I've
Yeah.
always like wanted, and I I basically got hold of them, went down to the driving range once, and then Boris locked us down. and then so I had to wait for like ages to get back into
Oh
it, and then
no,
that was
you
it.
joke.
And then the moment that I got back into it, it just became life. It became my church. You know what I mean? It became
Yeah.
like my. It saved me. It
Mm,
absolutely saved my mental health, my life, everything. Golf means the world to me. It
mm,
is. I live, breathe it. It's every day. It's I'm either putting at home. Like golf is just life now, and
amazing.
I wouldn't change it for the world. So that's kind of my story of getting into
Yeah.
golf. So
Well, yeah, no, thank you for sharing that, Matty, because I think there's probably a lot of people that, have struggled with addiction, like through their
mm,
lives as well. And generally, when they stop the unhealthy addiction, they then
mm,
have to find an addiction that's a positive thing instead.
yeah,
And
that's it.
golf's
Yeah,
clearly been that for you, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Golf is now my full blown addiction. I throw my life into it. It gives me purpose. It gives me an outlet. It gives me a place to be creative.
Yeah.
And it's as much as golf can test your mental health, it's
Yes.
always sometimes you want to smash the clubs and throw them, but it
Yeah.
is always a positive at the end of the day for me.
Yeah.
And then the social media aspect side has been a massive bit for me as well. That's helped. That's given me not something to do, but just given me another form of creative outlet.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think that's something that we all love.
Yeah. I think golf is perfect, especially when you're talking about suffering with ADHD as well, because
Mm,
there can be some sports which you can master to a certain extent, right? You can kind of get to your peak and you
yeah,
kind of know you're not going to get anywhere past them. But you look at golf, you look at guys like, I was thinking about Richard Bland, like recently. He was had a good career, but didn't
yeah,
necessarily like set the world on fire. He
yeah,
joins Live. He's in his 50s and he's winning like senior majors,
yeah.
like performing unbelievable at Live. And he would what would be called like your twilight of your career, but he's probably playing his best golf he ever has.
This
So
is it.
knowing that that's all in front of you is just that
Yeah,
probably helps with that, right? With that sort of side of things.
yeah. I think it's one that I don't know what. I just kind of take each day as it comes,
Mm,
and I think like golf with the future. If I get better, then great. If I don't and I stay where I am, it just gives me more incentive to try and get better. So
right. Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I think it's one of them things that, especially with like my ADHD, the moment I feel like I've completed it,
Mm,
I'm lost.
yeah.
And that's why I think there's that with golf, there's that appeal because it is a never ending battle. There
Yeah.
is no, it's infinite. There is
No.
no end. Like you just have to keep training, training, playing, 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 getting better and better, and then it drops off and get better again, and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not, you don't just do the sort of like playing side. We can get into the playing side of things, but I know you
Yeah,
also do a bit of club building as well, right?
yeah, that was it. Yeah, so I've always been into building things. So
Hmm.
either mechanics or so my actual day job is dry lining builder.
Oh,
And
I don't know how you do. I'm sorry, I have to interject
yeah.
here. I have, I come from a family of plasterers,
Right.
basically, and
Yeah.
plasterers never like doing dry lining, do they? Anyway, generally, right? They
No.
always shy away from it if they can.
Yeah.
And I was never that bold about plastering because I was just like, "Oh, it just seems, it wasn't for me. I grew up around it. I was like, it's just not for me.
Yeah.
I've tried dry lining several times and
Right.
it is my least favorite job to do. So I know, I don't know how you do it day in, day out.
I think it's because I should have studied better at school. That's probably one of the reasons. Probably one of the reasons why that I do it. 'Cause no one really aspires to be a dry liner. So, like for people that don't know what dry lining is, it is like it's working with plasterboard that's really heavy, putting up stud walls,
Yeah,
be it metal or timber and that. But it's yeah, it's not nice. You wear a tool belt for 8 hours a day that's like carrying a small child on your hip
yeah,
and then you're carrying 50 kilo boards and all sorts like that. And and
Hat off
today's
to you,
been
mate.
one of those days where it was horrible because I was working in I was doing a skylight that was fully glass, and I'm doing the reveals for it, and it's baking
Oh,
hot, and I'm like right up in the air, and I'm just yeah, melting. So
oh. I mean, that you made a career out of it, so it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? But I just like every time my wife
yeah,
says we got a project coming, I'm like, I know that that's going to lead to plasterboarding.
yeah, that's it. So I was desperate to get out of that. I was
Yeah.
desperate to get out of it because I've done it for the last 10 years now,
Hmm.
and a year. So it would be three. It'd be 3 years ago now. I got into club building through my social.
Mm.
So there's a big name out there, Lewis Sparrow. I
Hmm.
think people will probably know him as the beautiful golf swing that is on the internet.
I remember him from Horsham Golf way
But
back.
yeah, that was
I
it.
used to
Yeah, so I actually
play down
started
there.
following him with like 20K.
Hmm.
Oh, even that, I think I only have 15K. He's got 100,000 now, and I started having lessons with him.
Hmm.
And then he was the main inspiration for me to do the socials.
Right.
And because I saw him posting videos, and I thought, well, let's give it a go and see where this leads.
Mm.
And here I am now. And I started having coaching with him. He then moved to Precision Golf,
Hmm.
and then their Precision Golf is a custom fit centre, totally independent in Byfleet, Surrey.
Hmm.
And I started having my lessons there, PT sessions there, and then I had did some bits on their YouTube channel and stuff like that, and then it just happened through the actual PT sessions that I was saying like, look, I'm unhappy with my job, I want to get out of this, and Kate, the PT there, they were looking for a club builder,
Right.
and they took me on because they knew that my passion, my love for golf, and they knew that I'm good with work. I think once you've learned a skilled trade of building something,
Yeah.
you can learn another one pretty quick
Yeah.
and pretty easy. And then that's how it led to the club making. And then I was there for about a year and a half.
Hmm.
And then I had to go, as it all is. I went when I worked. So basically, when I actually started there, the whole point of me taking that job was to get out of my job that I'm in now, do the socials, have them combining forces of income, and unfortunately, the social media just didn't back me up. So I was
Right.
traveling like 110 miles a day,
Right.
um,
Yeah. Yeah.
and yeah, just financially, I couldn't afford it anymore. So I had to leave, which it was gutting to be fair,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I loved being in that environment, surrounded by lots of creative, talented people, and and meeting interesting people, like Charlie Hull, meeting Montgomery, you know what I
Right.
mean? And
Yeah.
it was such a great environment, being able to film there. And then yeah, sadly I just had to knock it on the head and
Yeah.
go back to the day job. And I do miss it. But I'm really fortunate that now I've got my little tiny workshop at home, which is pretty cool. And I've
Yeah.
got
I
my
saw
own
that.
little touch on there. Yeah, it's pretty sick. So it's always wanted to build like some sort of like silly shed,
Yeah.
some proper man cave at the end of my garden. And I built it, and then I put nothing in it for about 3 years. And then I was like, oh, I've got the perfect place for this now, and that's what I've turned that into. So it's half storing work tools, and the other half is a little like filming setup. So to
Yeah.
do
It's
club mates.
quality.
So
And
yeah,
all the club builds that you seem to do as well just seem to be like making pretty dull golf clubs
mm.
looking sweet, like with
Yeah.
some custom ferrules, and it's nice.
It's one of those bits where that I kind of more of the more work that I actually get is just the generic like snapshot,
Yeah,
heads come loose, stuff like that. But that's kind of like the Instagram side because that's what
yeah,
looks
yeah.
cool jazzy for Instagram and stuff like that, custom ferrules and things like that. So it's
Well, you got me. I'm just thinking this guy's just putting sweet ferals on everything every
yeah.
day. You
I'd love to be able to do it every day. I think I'm trying to push to get it as a full time operation.
Yeah,
It's one of them ones, but it's same again. It's tough. It's a hard thing to set up because of with like the replacement side of it and doing the single shafts and stuff like that. It's a lot of people now have sort of 10-year-old clubs, 8-year-old clubs,
yeah,
6-year-old clubs. By the time you've actually replaced the shaft in it, it's worth nigh on next amount with the labour
yeah.
to actually buy a second hand set. So it's hard. It is a hard, and it. I think it's going to get popular. I would like to see it more popular because
Yeah.
it's quite a niche. Like it's not like it's either your club pro does it in a pro shop or that or it's right little guys from home like me that do it, or you've got then
Yeah.
a couple independent places. But yeah,
I
club
think as
making.
people maybe start to understand a little bit more of the impact of things like shaft and stuff like that when it comes to their
Yeah,
game, I think I think that's one thing YouTube seems to be doing is just expanding people's mind that you shouldn't ideally ever go and just pick one off a shelf. Like it's not
yeah,
really if you get to especially when you get to a certain standard of golf.
yeah,
I think everyone at the start just you know play what you can and try and get the ball up in the air.
yeah,
I mean, that's kind of basically where it's at in it for most people. But
yeah,
when you get to your sort of your 15 handicappers and maybe 20 handicappers and lower, then
yeah,
it's like, okay, now we need to start trying to work around your swing because
yeah,
it seems, I don't know if you agree as well. It seems like, because I think we had like a relatively similar sort of basically upbringing in golf essentially. I sort of probably picked up a club pretty young, but then sort of played like a decent amount from the age of like 10 to sort of 14, 15, and then sort of stopped playing golf, just kind of played football, and then maybe played like once every other year for like the next sort of like 15 years. And then the last 3 years basically have started playing regularly again. And it seemed like there was just a huge drop off um, in people playing the game for such a long period of time. And then like this resurgence has led to we don't really know exactly where golf is going, which
yeah,
is great for the club building side of things because although like you said it's repeat business is difficult to come by essentially because it's going to
mm,
be like as and when they need it. But obviously the
yeah,
more people that play golf, the more people that are going to need equipment, more
yeah.
people are clued up and stuff. So, in that way it should lead to a little bit more for you, I'd have thought as the years go on. Right?
Yeah, hopefully. I think because like even though I do the club building, I still think my main passion more is the the playing side. I'm
Hmm.
more passionate about that. And like in an ideal and in like an ideal situation, I'd love to be able to do golf full time as a career. I think like 90% of people that, or 99% of people that have some form of social with some form of following would love to do it full time. And I think that you know just doing golf for a career would be fantastic. And
Absolutely,
I
yeah.
think that's kind of why like my passion is not like with my socials. My passion the is allowing people into the journey. It's with
Mm.
my sort of page, it's not really a trend page. It's
Hmm.
not really a kind of it. There's no sort of gimmick or anything like that. It's kind of following me and my life and my journey through golf, and that's
Yeah.
kind of what I've never really I've done the odd sort of like 9 hole track trend videos and stuff like that, but it's kind of like follow me along with my practice, with my playing, with my competitions that I do, the travel, and I've just set up another page to do kind of like a behind the scenes to
Mm.
show people like the making of the videos and a little bit more on the kind of personal aspect of me, allowing you into seeing like when I'm like having the road trip sort of had this weekend the competition up to Western Supermare,
Mm,
um, allowing people to see like my personality more.
yeah.
So then I've got one page for people that like to see just the golf content, and then if you want to invest a little bit more in me, I've got the other page there um, to do that basically.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
I like doing that kind of blogging sort of
Yeah.
style of footage as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it brings to the forefront sort of like your passion, your personality, and people then can kind of get to know you, and that's what keeps people coming
Yeah,
back. I think there's clearly a market for like the trend sort of videos where
yeah,
and people have done really well from it and like fair enough. Do you know what I mean? Like fair enough. But
yeah,
I think there's always a craving for like personalities, especially as
yeah,
things become more like AI driven and
yeah,
everything like that. It's all kind of samey, isn't it? It's more
yeah,
important to have a smaller following that are engaged rather than like a huge following that just kind of have followed it because everyone else has. You know, that sort of
yeah.
vibe to
I,
it.
I, I think my favourite people are kind of the ones where they show their true personal side, and you
Mm,
see, that you see them at home with like their cat or their dog or like
yeah,
what
yeah.
they're eating and things like
Mm,
that, and you see a bit of them with their family, and it shows that they're more real
yeah,
and
yeah,
transparency. I love that because there's a lot of like people out there that kind of put on the show for the gram. And
yeah.
for me, I kind of keep it like I'll post all my scores, I'll post good shots, bad shots,
Yes, yeah,
everything.
yeah, yeah.
I think that you know that's the bit is transparency.
Well, how is the game going? The age old question.
Whoa, right. I got to keep this PG now. Right. So
This is the true test.
yeah, it's going really, like it's going good.
Good.
So I feel like I would say to myself I'm never a scorer. Like I'm
Mm.
not, you see some people you play with and they'll get like eight birdies on their cards and like a load of bogeys. I've all like me doing a good round is me like making loads of cards and maybe like two bogeys. Like I've
Yes, yeah,
never
yeah.
been like a birdie guy, and I've had a lot of work over the winter because I did like the last year and the year before that my socials kind of took more priority than the actual playing of golf.
Hmm.
And I got myself into kind of a bit of a rut over last summer, and my game just dropped off. I went from like shooting in the sort of high 70s, low 80s to going back into the 90s. It
Right.
was really bad. Yeah, just weren't in a really good place with it. I think it was also the time where I had to switch between the jobs and go back, and
Yeah.
I started to like fall out of love with golf,
Mm.
and that was quite scary to be fair. And then I took about 2 months away from social media just to kind of like
Reset. Yeah.
reset. Yeah, because I'd put so much effort into socials um, that I felt like it was kind of getting to the point where it was like every time I went out, I had to film. I wasn't
Yeah,
enjoying
yeah.
playing. I wasn't enjoying filming. I just needed a reset. And then started to pick my game picked back up around sort of like August,
Hmm.
and then I started actually having new coaching from a guy called Ben Clayton up at Bar
Okay.
Hill.
Hmm.
Really
Yeah.
good guy, great player as well. And tons of experience. And this was about November time, and we completely like rebuilt my whole swing over,
Well.
like massive change. I was very steep, very on top of
Hmm.
the ball, above the plane. So the top end of my bag, I used to really struggle with. Um,
Yep.
uh, and then yeah, we've just been working throughout winter to get to me now. I'm probably hitting the ball the best I've ever hit it,
Yep.
but not still not scoring.
Okay.
So
So would you
it's
say it's
there. It's like
short game sort of side of
I
things
think
maybe as well?
I think it's a lot of it's mentality,
Okay.
and a lot of it is down to it's it's just being scrappy. It's just
Mm.
like always constantly having to for fight for power and put myself in bad positions, and it's kind of like the tidying up now, and it's the
Yeah.
bits that's costing me, the consistent free stabs in a round and
Yeah. Yeah.
having a double on the card, and it's eliminating them, and then you can work on it because my comp that I had, so I do open comps this year. That's what
Yeah.
my bit for this year. A lot of my content rounds now is going to be me practicing and doing open
Competing.
competitions.
Yeah.
Yeah, competing in men's open comps across the country. So I had this weekend I did Western Supermare,
Hmm.
and that was 36 holes, and that's one day. And some of the fields some of the ballots can come in at like four and down. So some of the guys I'm playing against like plus fours, like I know I'll
Yeah.
never win them, but I'm playing in the hardest conditions.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like playing club champs every time, every weekend.
Yeah.
And it's a real test of your game then.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've been pretty consistent. I'm shooting around sort of 78, 79,
Nice.
81, 80 around that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And each card that I've been putting in has had, it's had good scoring. It's had like 13 holes of good holes, and then there's
Yeah.
like a couple of blow ups, and it's just getting them out of there and then getting back into to it really. But I think putting is just the bane of my life.
Really. Yeah.
It's Yeah, I obsess about putting now. It's all I think about is putting
Right.
and trying and practicing and then going out and being absolute rubbish at it and then coming back home and then practicing even more. Like I've got my putter right here. Like
Right. You're ready
I've
to
got the
go.
putting mat, yeah, like I've got the putting mat there and it's just I feel like putting is one of those things like I feel like you've either got it or you haven't. So
Yeah.
there was the guy that we played in my group. So I played with a load of random people on because it's an open comp, and the guy that was playing with James, I have never seen from like an amateur club golfer putting like this,
Really.
like within 10 feet, dangerous. I was there just gobsmacked. Like I wouldn't want to play him in a game of match play because you just be like, this is done it. He had like
Uh,
not, I think over 2 rounds he had like 10 birdies over the
wow.
2 rounds, and he must have did like 27 putts.
Right.
Like he was
Yeah.
just, and I was like, I want that. Like, give me that because I'm
Yeah.
consistently freestabbing,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
If I
that's
had that, my scores would be like through the roof. Yeah.
yeah, I'll be
Well,
much
I
better.
was always notoriously a pretty average putter. I would say, like, you know what I mean? I'd be probably averaging like 30. I'd probably go like 36 putts and around pretty regularly. Do you know what I mean? Sort of just doing just two putting basically, and then the odd one putt, few free putts would be in there. You know, that kind of thing. And then I got a new putter. I got a runner, a runner putter. I got it here.
What's he got?
Oh,
What's he got? What's he got? I love a
it's
putter. I love. It's like,
so this is the runner. You might have seen it on my Golf Spy.
no, no, I've not seen this one.
So this is my webcam's not great, but you can sort of see it there. It's got my podcast logo on it as well, which is pretty nice.
Okay,
But
cool.
yeah, this is a sort of like putter here, and it comes with like weight technology in the back.
Is it like a lab, like a lie angle balance and
No, so it's lab, but taken kind of one step further. So Simon, who made it, they basically the technology that he's got is so that the whole thing is like, because he basically was an engineer. Um, it's good actually because Runner was going to be my sponsor for this episode, so now this is the advert in the episode as I tell you about
oh
it, which
wow,
is ideal.
there we go, there we go. Very
But
good.
basically, he was a automotive like engineer, so
Okay.
he basically grew up with sort of like doing these systems of manufacturing where it was kind of like pieces that got put together to make the product, right? And when he was looking at putters and he saw like driver technology and everything like that, there was movable weights, to kind of fit people's swings. He's like, why hasn't that been put into a putter? But
Hmm.
that seems like an easy win there. So the idea and the system behind it was, so basically I filled in a questionnaire of like 15 questions to do with my putting, and it comes up with like your own configuration
Yeah.
of what that actually is. And then when you get the putter, you basically then hit like 10, 15 putts with it. And based on
Yeah.
where the majority of those finish, you then configure the weights at the back. And
Wow.
I took this on a golf trip, right? I
Yeah.
literally got it 2 days before a golf trip. And all my mates are like,
Okay.
do not change putter before this golf trip. Your putting's not great. It
Yeah.
could be terrible. Like if you change putter. And I was like, no, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I turned up,
Yeah.
did everything with it, changed the weights. Literally, I think I had a round of like 26 putts. It was
Quite impressive.
insane. And like I was killing people because I was playing off 13
Yeah.
and I was just killing people with net birdies from like positions that you just do not
Uh,
deserve them from either as well. And I
I might,
honestly feel like when I'm over a 10 footer, like I feel
yeah.
like it's like a 4 footer.
Yeah.
Um,
I would pay for that. I think I've spent so much money on putters now. It's unreal.
well,
I think I'm into the. I'm definitely into probably like 5 grand on putters. I think just because of the amount I've got two labs, handful of Scotties. I've had Odysseys. Also, it's
it's
dangerous
too
now.
too many.
I think I should have probably spent more on the lessons. Really, I think that's. I'm quite intrigued with the questionnaire that you had to fill out for the things. Is it like they ask you if you like long beach, long walks across the beach with a putter,
Yeah,
or is it
that's it.
like
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah,
like
yeah.
one of those?
Your the name of your first pet. It all
Yeah, that
comes
was
into
a
it. But no, go
Scotty.
honestly. Best advice I can give is go on to Run a Golf's website.
Yeah,
Just have a look at it. Check out the like what the setup it says for you. Basically, most of the sort of whether it's mallet or blade or original is based on eye because that's kind of we all know what style of putter we tend to putt best with. So that's kind of like a based on eye question. But when it comes to, shaft lean, everything like that, it's all done based off how you set up to the ball.
well,
And you can go even further with it as well. You can even download Golf Boy app and
yeah.
actually record your putting stroke.
Okay.
And then from there it will like determine which setup is best for you as well. And
What's the
even better,
retail?
listeners can get 10% off. Matty,
Oh,
10% off with
oh,
code the Birdie Golf Club 10. So there you go. 10%
what
off. That's exclusive.
what are they retailing at? Now that's the question.
Yeah, so they're similar lines of sort of your labs.
Right.
So I think it's 460 euros, I believe, unless there's any change on
Yeah.
that at the moment. But that's for their original putter, and they do have a new pro line, which is a little bit more pricey as well. But
I think putters are now coming in at that price. Like you're
yes,
now seeing the rise in them prices. Like it typically was around like you could get a good putter for sort of 250 mark, weren't it? With
yeah,
your
it's not the
Scotties.
case anymore, is it?
Now the tech gets in there.
Yeah.
The price creeps up.
Well, it's the club you use the most, isn't it? And around, And it's like if there's one you're going to spend some money on,
Yeah,
um,
on a putter.
I mean, you've spent way too much now. That's what we've determined on putts.
Yeah, yeah. No, I've got a problem.
Yeah, I need to sell some of those putts
Yeah.
now.
You'll be seeing them in I think I've put a couple already up on my stories recently, so you'll be seeing me flogging some stuff at the moment on there. So
Yeah, yeah, well worth checking out, Runner, mate. They came second in the My Golf Spy test for 2025. So it's been a huge, huge boom for them because Simon was basically running the whole thing by himself for a really long time, and he's now got like 5 or 6 members of staff, like
yeah,
within 6 months of when I last spoke to him. So
that's impressive.
yeah,
I love it when like the little man, the little guy, the little man wins.
absolutely,
You
yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean? Being independent and doing that. I love that when that happens. So
yeah. He
that's
had an
cool.
idea and he's made it work. And I've had friends putt with it, and they're just like, this thing's like unreal. Like
Mm.
not what they were expecting. I think because it's centre shafted. I was always a little bit. I don't like centre shafted putters.
Yeah.
but it definitely it's changed my game for the better. My handicap's coming down sort of on the month at the moment, which is nice.
Nice.
Yeah,
Mine,
yeah.
mine is on its way up as we speak.
It sometimes can be a good thing though, right? When it comes
Yeah,
to like stable
I
food.
think yeah, I think it's because it's like it's going up because obviously like this last month I've had four, I've had a 36, yeah, I've had three 36 holes
Yep.
as well. Yeah, two of them being the Open, one of them being my club champ,
Hmm.
which was sick. I actually came second in the gross in that, which was my first year entering my club
Wow.
champs at Old
Nice.
Dawn. So I was so like so happy with that. That was
And where's that out of, Matty?
Old Thorns. Old
Oh, it's
Thorns.
beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, lovely. It's in like the lip hook kind of area,
Mm.
that one there. So
My
for a
wife went
hotel
there for a
resort,
little spa sort of thing. I've never been there, but
yeah,
she's been there. So that's hurtful.
mate, you have to come up and join me. Seriously,
Yeah, yeah, I'd love to, yeah.
it's beautiful. Like for a hotel resort course, and the amount of traffic it gets, it plays well. It plays so well. Greens are always running fast. Angry greenkeeper. I've never met the guy, but the pin locations that he put out at like club champs were just disgusting. They were some of the hardest positions that I've ever played on. And the greens are tough, man. They're so quick, glassy, lots of like they've got a lot of break in them, little
Yeah.
greens, yeah, it's a beautiful course. There's some really aesthetically beautiful holes. Like I've got a lot of love for Old Thorns, and they've been really cool with me as well. And they've I've teamed up with them. Just so I
Nice.
now do like Instagram, like once a month. I'll film a video for their actual page, which that's
Cool.
been really cool because that's a completely different way of filming because it's not. The last video that I did for them, I got a few guys down, I was filming them, and I didn't really, I wasn't even in the video.
Right.
So it was, for me, I like filming videos. I had no experience, no nothing. I didn't know how to do any of this, and I still don't really know like how to edit videos. I just kind of blag my way through it with CapCut and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
but it's really cool that I'm getting to film these videos because it's re-sparked another kind of creative outlet for me.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I've got big love for Old Thorns. So yeah, always will, and yeah, they're awesome. Yeah, really, really
Yeah, it
good.
looks a stunning like golf course. I love golf courses where it's just not like a big open field, It just looks like a beautifully like set in like woodland with like heathland and it just looks
Yeah,
yeah, it looks
it's
beautiful, man.
narrow. Yeah, there's only four holes that I use driver on there.
Mm.
A lot of irons and woods off tees. You can even put it into the fairway and still be blocked. It's one of those ones where it is like you really have to place your way around it. And when they do the like PJ events there and the pro-ams and stuff, and your typical score I think is only like one or two under.
Right.
Just
It's a thinking man's
it plays
course.
tough. Yeah, yeah, it plays tough. It's a tough course, and that was
Yeah.
like that's kind of the reason that I went there was because I was originally playing out of Wickham Park.
Hmm.
Um, just because when I got back into golf, I didn't really know if I was gonna, I didn't know if it was gonna stick, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So I kind of like signed up there, thought, I can afford it, it's cheap, it's nice, go there,
Yeah.
boom, and then fell in love, and that was it, boom, and then it was like, right, let's get myself to a harder course, and
Yes, yeah.
then that really shows like handicaps traveling because I moved from Wickham with my handicap, I think it was at 5. And
Hmm.
then I went to Old Dawns, and within like 2 months, it went up to like 9.
Right.
Because it was just like I'd not really kind of travelled as much by that point,
Yeah.
and then that's when that spurred the kind of playing in the open comps and moving around and playing different courses as much as I can.
Yeah.
Because I think that that's how you become, a better golfer. Really, just playing on different
100%.
courses all the time.
Yeah, I'm not a member anywhere at the moment. I don't play enough to kind of warrant it. Like financially, I sort of look at it and go, I would be like just about probably breaking even, so I'd rather travel and
yeah,
play different golf courses. And I had mates who were like members at, I had a mate who was a member at Horsham, which is like a decent, like, it's a decent track, Horsham. But I think like it's one of those places, once you play it enough, you can kind of like trick your way around there.
yeah,
Um, Whereas when you go and play somewhere different, you then kind of get a little bit not found out, but kind of found out, which is kind of what it's kind of what's happened to
yeah.
him when he travels, you know.
Yeah, it's a massive test, and that's the thing that I think I've noticed doing these open comps is that you it's like I played at Rochester and Cobham, one of the open qualifying courses, and uh, that was that was a real test because I've never played on any greens like that had that amount of undulation
Right.
and how quick they were.
Mm.
Like 10-foot putts were like I might three putt this.
Right. Wow.
Like it, yeah, like it was tough, and it's a real test of your game, and you really then notice it after like this month. I then, like I'll go play somewhere like Cams or one of the local courses, that are just set up for everyday play, and I'm like, oh, I'm breezing this. This is nice.
Mm.
So I think it's that. I just like being in my out of my comfort zone. Really, I think that's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was at Manning's Heath at the weekend,
yeah,
um, and I played the waterfall, and I played it because I was there filming some stuff and doing podcast stuff, so I sort of had been able to get out at like 5 in the morning.
mm,
Um, and it was like unbelievable. I had the course to myself basically, and I was chasing the greenskeepers around pretty much. So I don't know how much they like that. One of them
yeah.
smiled at me. The rest of them, there was zero smiles going on. So I'm not sure, but it was like honestly, I felt stiff. Like it was early in the morning. I literally rolled
Yeah,
out of bed and like gone and played. But I felt because I didn't have like any expectations for the round. It was kind of more, I was just going out, filming some bits and stuff, but just kind of breezing my way around like in a buggy in the morning. I played the golf of my life. I only managed to play like 14 holes because there weren't pins in some of the greens because I hadn't set them for the day yet. But I couldn't believe how well I played because my expectations were like zero. I just went out there to enjoy it. And I've got to recapture that feeling because I played like 14. I'm a 10 handicapper, and I played 14 holes, and I think I was either two or three over. And like, yeah, I
it's
couldn't
just
tell you
it's
what
such
it
a great
was.
feeling.
Oh,
That
mate, honestly, I
like,
felt unbelievable.
it's one of them moments when you're in the in the zone, and especially as well when you've got the course to yourself, millionaires golf,
Mm,
like that you can that's a drug. You can bottle that. You
yeah.
could make millions from
Oh,
it, and it's such like the feeling from it is just it's there's nothing that to me I can that could be any better. And that's
no,
another reason why I love Wild Dawns because by 4 o'clock, the course is empty. And as a
really?
member, yeah, their last tea times in the summer are sort of like 4:30, 5 o'clock. So they only do 18. They don't do a 9 hole.
Okay, yeah,
So
yeah,
when I go up there, it's perfect. I mean, I've spent like 2 hours on one hole filming video,
yeah.
and it is just the best feeling in the world when you're just this little tiny thing in this
Mm,
big open space, and you've got the whole golf course to yourself, and you can just work on whatever, and you can go back and flip between holes and cut across the 12th and then go over
yeah.
to here. There's no better feeling. There is
Oh,
no
absolutely.
better feeling.
Yeah.
And
I think
yeah,
I think that's why you look at places like St Andrews have always like stood the test of time because that course was almost intended to be played like with your imagination.
yeah,
You know, the fact you can play it backwards and
yeah,
you could pretty much play that course like in whichever order you wanted. You could just pick a spot to try and hit to. That's kind of like the root of golf, isn't it? Like you see a lot of like PGA setups now and stuff where it's very rigid.
yeah,
Um, and it can lose a little bit of its like what kind of makes it special and why when golfers come over and play like UK courses, they kind of like recapture their fun of
yeah,
like playing golf, and that's because at home of golf and how it was set up was to just be out there, just trying to create in like whatever way you can, right?
that's it. It's one of my favourite things to do. Is that is when it's like when you've got the course to yourself, is playing from one hole to the other hole.
Yeah, yeah.
So Frankie, who you actually had on here recently, what a lad! He's an
Oh, he's great,
unbelievable
isn't he?
little lad. Isn't he? He's such a little geezer. And I saw him the other night up at Leon Solent, not Leon Solent, Gosport,
Right.
and we went up there and we having a little like tip on the cause that course. Um, I'm gonna get shot in the comments for this now. It shares fairways and greens, and it's got 18 tee boxes, so it's not a full like it shares fairways,
Okay. Yeah,
and
yeah.
so what we were doing was we were using the eighth green, but
Hmm.
there was like four different tee boxes around it, and we were
Cool.
shooting onto there and going from here left, right, that, and having a little like par three contest, and it's some of the funnest golf that I've ever played.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you can get so creative and you can like turn holes into like monsters because you can do like par
Yes. Yeah,
sixes and go
yeah.
from like across three holes and stuff like that. There'll be some like real like society guy, old boy, that will be shooting me for it because he'll
Oh,
be
he'll be
like, that's
hating
not
it.
how you play. Yeah,
He'll be
but
hating it. They'll be listening right now. Their ears will be bleeding. They're like, but that's not how the architect intended it to be played.
yeah, it's some of my fun stuff, and you get creative then,
Yeah,
and you can play shots that like you would never normally do. And I think
yeah.
that another thing from filming that's helped me is playing. Every now and then I'll like, oh well, maybe I could try and hit a stinger through the tree,
Mm.
and I'll sit there and I'll put the camera up and I'll try and hit like 30 of them until I get the shot. But then I've learned how to do it, and then the other day I had that shot and I was like, yeah, I've got this, and
Got it in the
boom,
bag.
stinger
Yeah,
through the tree. Yeah, and I think that you just end up getting more creative with shots and shot
yeah.
shaping and playing. So, yeah.
I think you have some of the best natural shot tracers on Instagram, to be fair. Like when I've seen you kind of have that sort of Mac Mac Boucher-esque sort of like shot tracers that you get where you don't really even need to put the lines on, you know?
Oh yeah, that was that's just so I do it. I film through I've got an old iPhone 14,
Yeah,
15,
yeah.
I don't even know which one it is, and it's just how you set it up.
Please
Um,
teach me. Teach me.
so I film it. I put it in 4K, but I film it in times two,
Okay.
and then you frame it so you can get the player in, and you can
Yeah.
just see the shots better through it. It
Okay.
takes out a lot of the dead empty space at the top of the screen. I've got massive arms, sorry. It takes out the dead
Don't show
space
off.
at the
Don't show
top
off
of
with
it.
your arms.
Big thumbs in Britain, there you go. And it takes out the dead space, and then it means that you can just. I don't know if there might be nothing really technical about it, but filming in times two, and
Hmm.
then you just get that clarity, and it's also trying to look at the background as well. It's trying to
Okay.
start like when I'm filming certain shots, so I can get that really nice like ball flight up there.
Hmm.
Um, you can. It's trying to find the right colours behind. So if you can get like the trees in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
background and stuff like that on certain holes, it means you get a better flight at um, you actually see the ball flight,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's the main thing. Because I think yeah, when you can actually see the flight without any traces, it just looks cool.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, when you have it with the
Looks
trees in the
cool, yeah.
background and stuff, and you just see that ball just rising through it, it's just
Yeah,
sweet. What have you got in the
and that's
bag at the moment? What's your... Sorry, Matty, go on, carry on.
I was just gonna say that's another reason why I film at Arthur's because I've got all the tree lines around there. Like
Yeah,
you see like on like the third hole there, you've got all the trees there. Like you can hit like absolute missiles and just get it
yeah.
all on
That makes me
camera.
want to go back to where I grew up playing Tilgate. I played like Tilgate Park in Crawley.
Mm,
Tilgate Forest Golf Centre has like it gets a bit slated to be honest that golf course, but that's
yeah,
where I grew up playing, so I'm always gonna have a bit of a soft spot for it. And it was, it's punishing, it's narrow,
yeah.
um, and there's some beautiful like with the pines and stuff just like playing through there. So makes me want to go back there and shoot around there now. That's like I need to go
Definitely.
back. I need to get some times two going and get some shot tracers on it.
That's it, mate. That's it. Times two on the iPhone. Boom.
That's it. That's the secret. I've got to try that now. It makes me want to go out now. Um, I was going to say to you, what's in the bag at the moment? What have you got?
What's in the bag? It's probably been the longest setup that I've had
Hmm.
because I've been really working on trying to find the right clubs and have a consistent bag because there's always been something chopping, changing, trying this, that, and the other. And so in my bag, if we start top, work down.
Go for it, mate. You take the lead.
So
Take me on this tour.
I've got a Callaway Mini driver. So I
Hmm.
dropped driver because
That's interesting.
I've always struggled with driver. I think that's predominantly because where before, like my swing was very steep, very
Hmm.
unprofitable, nightmare for hitting driver. So
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
always struggled with it. And from when I was playing younger, I've always enjoyed playing with the smaller CC drivers.
mm,
And it was I'd been filming a video ages ago with like it was a couple of years back, and it was with the R7 quad. Remember from
yes, yeah,
like the early 2000s.
yeah.
Um, and I got that, and I was ripping it. Like, and I was like, this is so much nicer. And then I kind of put that away and went back to it. And then this whole kind of like spurge of mini drivers, and I was like,
Yeah.
let's give one of the guy, and it was life changer. It
I'm
I hit
wondering
it
if it's
really
something more
quickly.
people are gonna lean toward, especially in amateur golf,
Yeah,
because
100%.
obviously, like driver has its benefits. The fact you're just gonna hit it longer as well, right? And it's like for the pros, they don't miss the same as what we do. You know, their misses are so minute. It's not
Yeah,
causing many issues. Obviously, if you hit driver great, then great, but
yeah,
not a lot of amateurs do hit driver great at the end of the day, especially when you compare their carry yardage with like their 3 wood going to
yeah,
their driver. There's there's probably not a huge amount in it. As much as people want to lie and say that they hit the driver 320 yards, uh,
yeah,
likelihood is their 3 wood probably goes 240 and their driver goes 250. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of like
yeah,
there's not going to be a huge amount in it. So I posed a question a little while back of like, I reckon just more and more people are gonna switch to minis because it just makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, definitely, definitely. Like mini drivers are they're just a game changer. They're so
Mm.
good. So I've got that one. I've got the AI Smoke in
Hmm.
an 11 and a half.
Hmm.
It came. Uh, I've swapped all the shafts out on all of my clubs. Anything that is graphite or composite is LA Golf.
Yep.
I do. I love them. Some people hate
Yeah.
them, think that they're a bit dead, but for me, I've gotten so well with them. They're
Yeah.
just, yeah, they're. I've been and back to the club building aspect. I've been really fortunate that I've been able to find them online on eBay with different tips on them, pull them, build them, and it's
Yes.
saved me a fortune. So I've got them for like half the price.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So I've got that one, but my driver's set up. All my clubs are a bit like nerdy. They're all set up
Do
a
it.
little bit way, tweaked a little bit
I want
different.
you to
So
go deep on this. Go on. Let's hear
okay,
it.
so my mini driver typically is that came out at 43 inches, so
Yep.
typically like 3 wood length, and mine is playing 44, so just it's in between driver
Yep.
and in between driver and 3 wood, and that then moves into my five. So then I play a 5 wood next because that's an 11.5 degree of loft.
Yep.
And then I went for the 5 wood in the AI smoke because then they're hot. They're so hot. They're my
Yeah.
AI
Yeah.
smokes. Like I don't think I haven't hit any of the new current range from like the last year or so because I've just been just I love these.
Yeah.
And that's my 5 wood that's playing another inch longer. So
Hmm.
it's kind of like 3 wood length for a 5 wood.
Yeah.
So it's a bit easier to hit off the deck, but with that hot face, it fits in the yard, it gaps well.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
So that's it. And I prefer a fixed neck. I don't like adjustable neck.
Okay, yeah, interesting. Yeah,
Never got on with any adjustable. So my AI is in standard, and I love a fixed neck on a fairway. I
yep.
think it's just from playing so much
Aesthetically, I think it
speed.
looks better as well. I think it
Yeah,
looks
I
better when
think
you're
so.
looking down at the ball.
I think what it was that I've always had like issues with my woods is when I've tried different loft settings and this, that, and the other, and I've tweaked it, and then it's changed the lie angle and the loft, and I just
Yeah,
can't. And it
yeah,
looks, yeah, where it's just fixed, it's fixed.
yeah.
You got
Can't
it.
tinker with it. Yeah,
That's it. And same again. That's playing with LA shafts and both them.
yeah.
And then we move into the top end of the bag. Is I've got ZX. So all my irons are Strixon.
Yep.
Uh, Massively underrated.
Oh
They're more
yeah.
popular now. Like four years ago, you wouldn't see many people like you know
No.
trying them out or whatever. But they're beautiful irons, so well made. Like compared to like seeing it on a production level and building, their tolerance is so much tighter than anyone else's. Like
Mm,
Callaway irons are cheap.
mm.
They are they're not built as well as your stuff that's coming out of Japan and things like that.
Yeah.
They are like so good. And so I've got the ZX Utility Mark II iron.
Mm-hmm.
I was running a free iron for a bit, but I broke the face on it.
Oh
Cracked
no.
off the bottom. So they're hollow headed.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that put me into a two iron.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got them both at my five and my two iron are at 18 degrees. But they're yardages are slightly at the moment. My two irons obviously running out longer, so it
Yeah, yeah.
kind of fits in between my driver and there. But then you've got the slight characteristics as well, it's different. So if I
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
hit out a deep rough, I can, or a bit more rough lie, I can use my five wood.
Yeah.
Vice versa, high, low that, and then my four iron is the same as well as the utility one, just
Mm-hmm.
because it's just so easy to hit.
Yeah.
It's like hitting an eight iron
Right, yeah,
and
yeah.
you've got the nice flight with it. Ball gets up, hitting out the rough. Them utility irons are just the stigma of having like bladed irons and thin profiles. Like nah, like I want the
Yeah.
ball to be as easy as possible to hit when I'm in the most pressured situation.
Yeah.
And they go like missiles,
Yeah, yeah.
absolute missiles. And then I then move into my five iron is then the ZX5.
Mm-hmm.
And then from six iron out of pitching wedge is the ZX7. So the
Yes, yeah.
five just got slightly wider sole. It's then like progressively getting wider and wider and wider as you get out of the top bag, just so then it's
Yeah.
easier to hit. Because
Mm-hmm.
I think I was looking at it, it's like Shane Lowry, and he has a combo set. So he goes
Yeah.
ZX5, ZX7. And I was looking at it and I'm like, if that dude's running that, like, why am I trying to hit a ZX5, 7, five iron with a really
Yeah.
thin sole? Like, let's make it easier. And I was looking at more people on tour with this kind of like mini drivers, having more lofted, like
They
Adam
just want something they
Scott.
can rely on. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Adam Scott's running like a nine wood, like Tommy Fleetwood's running a nine
Yeah.
wood or like a seven wood and
Adam
stuff like
Scott,
that.
the
So,
most perfect swing of all time, is playing clubs to help him.
yeah,
You know, it's
why isn't
pretty.
the amateur golfer doing that?
Yeah, yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
So that's why I
yeah.
went with that. And then in my wedges, I've got a bit of a guilty pleasure with wedges.
Go on.
Like I like a rusty wedge.
Okay, yeah,
Like I
nice.
love a rusty wedge.
You want
Like
to see
I'm not.
like time on it, like time has happened to this.
Yeah, just like I don't think golf clubs should be shiny. Like to me,
Hmm.
irons. Like if you look at mine are they are hammered with lead tape. They've
Yeah,
got rust on them. They're beaten. They are used. And for me, having that nice really like cool funky ferrule on a like a really rusty club and like
yeah,
beat up, just it makes it pop. And I think that kind of like it's like that kind of like rat rod kind of
yeah,
style to it. And I think wedges should be the same. Like if you
Hmm.
look at like the artisan wedges and stuff like that, they're all like, they're all raw finish, lovely. They just, I think, like Cleveland. I've got the Cleveland Torax.
Hmm.
The ones before the new ones that come out, it's the R RTZ
Hmm.
R six
The
ones,
RT, yeah, RTX,
and
RTZ, something like that.
them ones, yeah, and a bit rusty. Love them,
Nice.
absolutely love them. They're such a nice one, and I've played around with them quite a few. I've actually got 3 sets of them now
Hmm.
from different where I've had different bounces, different lofts and stuff. Predominantly, I
Yeah.
always play like low bounce wedges across the
Hmm.
whole set. And another thing with Ben was kind of working on, we looked at it and saying like, you, I'm not as like I loved my low bounce wedges because I love like filming flop shots and
Yeah.
fun shots. But for every like day playing golf and 90% of the time we're playing in soft conditions, low bounce is just not really what you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we looked at that, changed it, went to more sort of a mid bounce um with my 58, went full with my middle with my 54, and then back to a sort of mid. So we've got the combination of more bounce for certain shots and less bounce for certain shots. So that's
Yeah.
been a massive improvement as well. Was just getting, I think a lot of people saying again they get wedges online, they don't know, bounce, they don't know the like, things like that, and I think that is a massive
Yeah.
factor in, having an idea of the right tool will help that. And then currently got the lab Mez Matt
Yes.
with the LA golf shaft in there.
Yeah.
Um, and so again, I'm really fortunate because like I've saved myself a lot of money being able to build clubs. Because
Yeah. Yeah.
buying that, I was lucky enough that I saw a ping putter that had the LA golf shaft on, and it went for like, I think it was like 90 quid or something like that. And I was like, well, that's a £230 shaft. So I pulled that, put it in, and I can tinker and play and
Yeah. Yeah.
and and make some funky clubs. So that's what's in the bag. TP5X golf ball. That's the one
Right.
that I
Yeah.
run, all I run.
And you like
Just
the X because you like a little bit, sort of like a little bit less spin,
oh
ideally.
yeah, I found at the top end. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't feel like I hit a high ball flight, but everyone
Hmm.
I play with always tells me that I hit quite a high ball. And I just found I've just seen it just drop the flight down a little bit more. And I
Hmm.
found with the top end of the bag of the mini driver, because with your mini driver, you're getting a little bit more spin off that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That I could, I tried changing the shafts around. So I had like a mid, one of the mid spin shafts in there
Hmm.
at like 55 grams, and I went to a 60-gram low spin, and it was just too, like, I could hit absolute nukes with it, but it
Yeah.
was just getting to the point where it was, if I hit maybe out of the heel toe, it just dipped, and it was just too low. It was just too low a spin. So I went
Yeah.
to the mid, changed the ball, and that helped me massively with my flight on the mini driver.
Right.
And so that's what I found with the X. And then I've got the one with the kind of like the stripe line on it already.
Oh yeah, the tall strap ones, they're nice, aren't they?
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
I think that's helped with putting. That's
Yeah.
helped massively with putting. I think it's made it more like visually appealing because when you get it like
Yes.
rolling end over end and you see
Yeah.
them going towards the hole and you're like, damn, like you
Yeah,
like
that
I
looks
love
good.
that roll. Like yeah, it's so satisfying and it makes you want to putt because I've always
Yeah.
like I've never enjoyed putting practice. Like
Hmm.
practice probably hands down boring and like
Mm.
it hurts my back. Like
Yes.
you
Yeah.
do like 10 putts in a row, and you're like, oh man, my back.
Yeah.
And I think that's just from like my job, but it's yeah, like it makes you want to putt and makes
Yeah.
you want to practice. So I think that's the big thing. So that's my bag, and it's been
Nice,
like
mate.
that
Nice.
for like I'd say it's been like that for the last. Well, the putt has changed. The putter's
Hmm.
always changing. So in the last 6 months, or last 8 months or so, I've had two lab putters. So I had the
Yeah.
Link One, which is the blade, and
Yeah.
then the Mez, which is the mallet one. And so that's excluding the putter, that stayed like that for
It's
the
been pretty
last,
set.
yeah, 8 months. That's big for me. Like 8 months,
Mm.
that's almost like marriage material. Like
Yeah, at that point, you've made a
that.
commitment.
Yeah, I've committed. Like I'm
Mm.
now like devoted to that bag
Yeah,
for
yeah,
life.
yeah. That's nice. That's nice. That's what every golfer is looking for at the end of the
That's it.
day.
You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. It's
A
finding
bag you
that.
can rely on.
I don't know if my wife would like being called a bag, but but yeah,
I just know
yeah.
my wife doesn't listen to this, so I'm absolutely fine.
Oh man.
Absolutely fine. She couldn't
Uh,
think of anything worse. Um,
so,
that's great. That's quality, mate. To have that sort of set is is something, and knowing that you, because I play with a guy he's a good golfer actually. He has another podcast called The Halfway Hut, and
yeah.
his name's Chris, and he's really good. Like he's like a five handicapper, but he has lost all confidence in his bag. He went for a fitting. They basically said, was it necessarily the best thing to say to him? Probably not, but they basically said every club in your bag is wrong for you.
Oh, it's like mid round, like
You
telling
don't need
someone
that,
that
do
their
you?
cutting grip is like a bit open or closed,
Yeah.
and
It's
it's
bit,
like
yeah.
just you might as well be giving that guy a gun and then shoot himself in the head. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's a killer because he'll walk away from that and he'll just be like,
I
this
can't
is
play golf now with these.
I
Yeah.
can't play golf, and it will just get into your head. And I had
Yeah.
that with my whole bag prior to that, chopping, changing this, that, and the other, and like having a having a solid like set of clubs that you can, they might not even be the right ones for you, but if you believe that,
Yeah. If you know what they're going to do and you've seen what they're
yeah,
going to do, then just trust that. It's not going to be perfect golf. There's no such thing.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
just,
exactly.
but if you can know more than 50% of the time you're going to hit,
Mm.
you're going to hit closer to the shot you want to hit, at least you're going to have a positive thing stepping into the ball rather than a negative, right?
Or
So,
it's having vice versa. It's like because I've never been confident with driver, and now I've got this newfound confidence with it. But
yeah, yeah.
there's sometimes where I'll step onto a box and I'll be like, I don't know, like it is a driving
Mm,
hole, but I'm like, don't know. But then I'll go to my two iron because I
yeah, yeah.
know I've got confidence with that. And then it's like if my two iron, I hit a few of them that I'm a bit like, oof, not sure about that. I know
Mm.
I can go to my five wood, and now I've got all this confidence that I know that I've like, if something isn't working that day, I've got something I can get off the tee
Got
with,
another
and
tool
I can
ready to
get
go.
around. Yeah, that's it. So confidence. I feel sorry for the dude, man.
Yeah, it's not ideal. I mean, it is quite fun because I beat him last weekend, which just never happens.
Yeah.
Like comfortably beat him as well, like stroke play,
You
not
got
net. Do
noticed
you know
because
what
you got no
I
confidence in your bag, mate. That was it. Just digging at it. Oh, I think wrong club for you, dude.
mean? I'm like that. Oh, you still playing those, are you? Oh, it's a shame, isn't it? But it
Oh,
is what it
yeah, that's
is.
a shame.
But
Three and two.
but no, I agree with you. Like having a club you can rely on. Like when I played the other morning, I wasn't feeling driver. One, because it was early in the morning, and I
Yeah.
thought this is going to make a right racket. To be fair, like around these trees, and there's a hotel there and stuff, and so I just hit my five wood, and I love my five wood, and I was just you sort of sometimes you walk away from around, you're like, why don't I just do that like all the time? Like, why do I feel
Yeah.
the need to try and get further when I know that I can absolutely smash that and be in a great position? It's,
100%.
it's golf, is it?
That's it.
Just golf. Just golf. So you got any other things happening, Matty, that are exciting on the horizon?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
It's been going in the background for about a month now, a month and a half.
hmm,
So I've just um signed up with Devro, clothing company in the States,
nice.
which is mega for me.
Mm.
Absolutely mega. I've not even
They're a
announced
big
it yet on
brand,
my
aren't they?
page
Yeah,
yet. Yeah, yeah. I've not even announced it on my page yet. So this is like an exclusive.
it's
So
great. I love an
yeah,
exclusive.
and it's awesome because they've been so good. like so unbelievably good. They've had um, so it came about because I actually just bought their stuff online and got it shipped over from the States. Started wearing it and just filming it because I liked it, and I was just super impressed with the product itself.
Mm.
It's it very much is in keeping with my style. I've never really been a fan of like traditional golf wear.
Mm.
I like your Galvin Green, your FootJoy. Um, I just can't stand it
Yeah, yeah,
personally. Just me, I like a bit more, like bucket hats and
yeah.
like I don't know why I've got so much clothes here, but like like real tree and just everything like that.
Yeah.
And I think so they just fit the mold with me, and so yeah,
Mm.
they've signed me up, and um basically going to be an ambassador for them, which is so cool because they've not got
So
any
good.
sort of ambassadors, not that I know of, but they've not really. They're starting to reach into the UK market now, which is
Hmm.
really cool. And then they're just now like basically just sending me a load of stuff out, which is awesome. And they've
Oh,
been
mate,
so
that's
cool because
great.
they've not been pushy. Because
Mm.
I've had people approach me before with stuff, and it's like you've got to like have like 3 reels a week on
Mm.
certain things and like that. And I don't like that.
Mm.
And I think my headphones have just died.
Oh, it's all right, mate. Can you hear me?
Oh, can you hear me
Yeah,
still?
yeah, yeah. I've got you. Yeah.
I just got power off in my headphones. Then I don't
Oh
know if it's
no,
the. Oh, okay, but they're still working for
we're
some reason.
surviving. We're surviving.
There
We're
you go,
good.
cool. But they're I did so well. I charged them. I charged
Mate,
them. I was
it,
just like intrusive thought
welcome
there.
to
I
the
was like,
world of podcasting.
oh, man. But so they've not been pushy at all, and they've been really really cool. And they're like, just do what you're doing and wear the clothing, and that's it. And they've not
Mm.
asked for anything in return in like a way of me basically pushing anything. So it's kind of
That's
like, look,
so
we're
good.
giving you a discount code. You can put that in your bio, and that's it. Just have fun. And I was like, this
Amazing.
is what I want from a brand
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
don't want to be a salesman. Because I think a lot of the stuff you see on Insta, like you see these people, and we're all doing it for a goal of some kind,
Yeah, yeah.
and getting products and helping funding your page and things like that. But it just gets a bit like when you see people like putting
Yeah,
codes up all the time, and it's like, oh, this is a great product, and it's just like, no, it's
yeah.
not. Not that it's a bad product. It just becomes not interesting to watch.
Yeah, I know, I
So
agree. It's a balance
so
to
my
strike, isn't it,
yeah,
with it? It's I found that really I've found that as a bit of a learning thing really, because I think when I started the page obviously super excited, and as golfers like obviously we love like new stuff, right? I mean that's pretty fun. But it's finding like that balance of when to do that and when to not, and also knowing the brands like you said with Devereaux, they just want you to enjoy the products, and through that they know that that of course it's gonna do well because people see you
exactly.
being yourself whilst
Yeah,
wearing. So it's more like being yourself whilst wearing Devereaux stuff, right?
that's it. That's it. And they've just been really supportive, and that's the main thing. Is just the like because I'm a very small page. Like I
Yeah,
think of myself as a very little page. Like, if you're going by numbers and viewership and things like that, like 1900 on my Insta. So it's
yeah,
not like I'm this like mega. I'm just a dude from Portsmouth that likes playing golf and filming his life. And it and for them to put that amount of investment in me and send me all this gear out, which is en
yeah.
route as we speak, I was like, I cried. I
Oh
genuinely
man, I
cried
get it.
because I
I
was
get
like,
it.
this
Yeah.
is the sickest thing ever. Like I'm
Mm.
now turning like I'm giving away all the secrets here now. So we're turning my front room into like a filming studio, so I can hang all the garments up in there and film about them and do the get readies with me and showcase their clothes and
So
shoes
cool.
and stuff like that and film the content in there because I love fashion. Like I've
Yes.
always
Yeah.
been into fashion, even like from like the like civvy side of I call it civvy side, like the non-golf side. I've always been into clothes,
Mm.
fashion. I love my Carhartt, all that sort of stuff, and um, did some like bits of modeling, when I was younger and had hair, and 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 like just it's just I'm just buzzing for it. I
Yeah,
can't
mate.
it's so hard to talk about it because I'm just so excited,
How
and
many
I've been
times have you
wanting
checked that package, just to see where it is in
every
transit?
day, every day, like just I'm there, like waiting for it, and I've been wanting to talk about it so hard, like for
Of
so
course,
long.
yeah,
So
yeah,
they, like they gave me the code and everything like that, but I was like, well, I kind of need everything here to do the kind of like the unveiling,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's but I've just been I've had to like tease little bits here because if not, I'm gonna lose my mind over it because I was just like I just want to tell the world, like I want to show
Yeah,
like my love for it, and it's because I love what they stand for. They're how good the quality of the clothing is, and they're an independent brand. Like I've always been into independent clothing
yeah.
and supporting people that are trying to fight against the big corporate companies. Like,
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
so,
Oh, absolutely, mate. No, I mean, it seems like a sort of match made in heaven, really. Like you and Devereaux just seem to it just works, right? I just look
yeah,
at when I had a look at their page when you had posted about some of their stuff, and I was just like, yeah, that works. I mean, it's cool stuff. I don't know, I don't not sure I could pull it off. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
I
but
think it's just having confidence.
you
Like,
great. Yeah,
I think, like for me, it's like people look at me like 'cause I like wearing like real tree trousers and stuff, and it's like when you see me like off the golf course, do you know what I mean? I wear all weird, quirky stuff, and I think it's just confidence, and it's just
yeah.
kind of being like, like I don't suit bucket hats, but I wear them because I like it. I
I
like a
like them.
bucket I like some people I know can pull off a bucket hat and they're like, yeah, that looks cool. When I put it on, I feel like I look like Ben and Ben, the flower pot Ben. But like, but it's just confidence, and I think that's what it is. Like people can wear all sorts. It's just like not worrying about what
Yeah.
people think about you. Because like for me, I've got tattoos on my face, my head, and everything like that. If I actually stopped to think about what people worried about how I look, I think I'd have a breakdown every day I go out of the house. It's one of those, you know what I mean?
I understand.
So yeah, just that's a big thing as well. Like having the tattoos on my face and stuff with golf. I always
Mm,
just kind of I didn't know how it would always. There's been some good. There's always some bad. I think with
yeah.
everything,
Mm.
it depends on. That's why I think I like Instagram more than TikTok. I
Okay,
get
yeah, yeah.
more. I get a lot of positive stuff from Instagram. I think there's quite a negative space within TikTok,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
especially with some of the stuff that I wear and things like that. Oh boy, people telling me that I shouldn't be wearing this, that on the golf course, and I've had some stigma with the tattoos and things, and going into certain clubs and stuff. People are a bit like, who's this guy? But then the
Really?
moment if they just say hello to me, and then
Yeah.
like, I always try and approach it as if someone that looks at me and they're a bit like, wow, that's quite full on. He's got massive
Mm.
scar on the back of his head and all this that and the other, and I'm just I'm like, you all right, how's it going? And just say hello to them, and then
Yeah,
try
yeah.
and have a conversation. And they're like, oh, what a lovely man,
Yeah, it just
It's
kills
why
it, doesn't it, instantly?
it's why my slogans is like Nans love me because
Yeah.
they do. Like
Yeah.
I've had it. I've got some like stickers, like old golfer stickers with like Nans love me on it. Because once I start talking, like
Yeah.
you realize that I'm not. I might look scary, but I'm not.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I can talk to the fact that you are a lovely bloke to talk to, mate. So like, I can
Cheers,
attribute that.
mate.
I can see why Nans love you. Yeah, really,
Yeah,
I
they
think
love
that's
it.
great.
They like the cheekiness and the tattoos. A lot of that. You know what? It's actually quite weird that a lot. I've had better response from like elderly women
Hmm.
going, oh, you know what, I love your art one. Love your art. love it, love it. You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
like I think now I think it's changed. I think
Mm.
maybe like 7 years ago when I had like having the tattoos on the head and face and stuff like that. I think that was a time where people, a lot more people kind of would stare at me, things like that. Especially when I went to different countries, things
Mm.
like Poland. When I went to Poland, they were very like, "What's this guy about?"
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but
Just
then,
cultural
like,
like differences, I
yeah, I think
suppose, and stuff like that.
now I think there's so much of it now that especially in Pompey, like it's like Pompey, people in Portsmouth are heavily tattooed,
Right.
tons of tattoos. You go, and then you start moving up the country, and then it gets less and less and less. Like, you
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
around Surrey, and you'll never see a tattoo, but um, it's one of those. So yeah, I think now it's not really an issue. I've only had like a couple of instances where people in the clubhouse have been a little bit like not happy me. I wouldn't say not happy me being there, but they're just a bit like, what's this guy? He dresses a bit funny and stuff.
Right.
And
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
but other than that, I think I've had a lot of good come from
Those things will
being.
fade out over time anyway, when they? It's the same as like
Yeah,
the same people would be funny about a hoodie. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of that. It's that same sort of thing. And the joke is, it's not like I think what I get from you as well is you love also the traditions of golf. Do you know what I mean? You're not somebody
yeah,
who's looking to like eradicate traditions in golf because I have this conversation with people like it's a fine balance, right? Golf is way more accessible now,
yeah,
like for the younger generation and everything, and that's obviously fantastic.
yeah,
But golf isn't losing its like roots at the same
yeah,
time. That's like hard balance to strike, isn't it? Of like moving with times, as far as like you look at like TGL,
mm,
even like Live as well now.
mm,
But even all those things still hold on to, the fact that the Live guys, their biggest part of their year is still the four majors.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And like
yeah,
one of those four majors will be played at a golf club with like oak everywhere and like, certain rooms you can't go in certain shoes and stuff like that
yeah,
because that is part of like the traditions of golf, isn't it? So it's
yeah,
just I think people sometimes, especially the older generation of golfers, get so
yeah.
worried that what they remember of golf is going to go. So that's probably
Yeah,
where they sort of
I think
like
there still needs to be like history, doesn't there? There still needs
yeah,
to be some form of bits, but I think there just needs to be less like there needs to be playing more, complaining less.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Do you know what I mean? And I think that's a big thing because I think you do see it like within comments and stuff like that. And I'm very much up for tradition, but the same way, like I think that if you want more golf to be more accessible,
mm,
then sometimes you've got to tone it down
mm,
and you've got to tone down the rules and you've got to turn around like why can't we just why can't you just get like four people on a hole with a load
yeah,
of balls and just go at it?
yeah,
Doesn't matter what you're wearing, you can be wearing jeans,
mm,
like why can't we just go out? Why, sometimes it's just like I get the playing in the comps and this, that and the other, but sometimes just you know,
yeah,
go out, hit golf balls, play against different, whatever. I think that if you wanted it more accessible, it is lowering costs and stuff because it can be quite intimidating. I think, like, can you remember, like, if imagine starting golf now as an adult, like having no
yeah,
experience to it as a junior, and you're
yeah,
going to have to go to like a golf club for the first time, and you've got to have a sock policy and like a short knee, like a
yeah.
trouser or a short knee height policy and a collar and you have to have this and that
Let's
and
give
membership.
you an example. I literally played the other day. I won't name the course, but like played the other day, and there was a few guys where it was basically like their first time playing 18 holes. They played a lot of 9-hole stuff. It was the biggest course they'd ever been at. It was just a pretty regular sort of like 6,000 yards sort of course. It wasn't anything crazy, but we were trying to do like a certain style of things. We said, oh, a few of us are going to tip it out, so we're going to play it really long today because that's what we want to do.
Mm.
Go to set up the white tees, and the first interaction they have on an 18-hole course is some bloke in the clubhouse shouting up, "No, from the yellows!"
Yeah,
And like, it was just kind of like, is that really necessary? Like, we've paid our money to
yeah,
play this course. Why can't we? If I want to go and play it from the Reds, I'll go and play it from the Reds. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like that's my choice. It doesn't matter because I'm a bloke that I have to play it from that tee box,
yeah,
and I'm not a member or not playing in the
yeah.
competition. I can't play it from the back one. Like you've set all them up for the day, so that tells me they're
Mm.
ready to go. So
I
like,
think
why should
I
it?
think it's as well. Like, a lot of people say like you should be a certain handicap playing from the back and things like that. And it's this whole like stigma on like so play as well. Like I
Mm,
think for me, I'm very like I like some traditions and aspects, but I'm very much I'm probably gonna get hated for it, but like anti-tradition
okay, okay, that's
because
interesting. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I like certain things, but at the same time, I'm like it. Sometimes it just needs to be dulled down,
Hmm.
and in that scenario, I think it needs to be kind of that. Like there needs to be some way of introducing people into golf and making it easier by even doing it as like an open golf night where there's a allocated slot of time into people for brand new people because going out for the first time on a Saturday when you've never played golf or anything like that and people want to experience what we love, which is playing the
Yeah, yeah.
course, having fun, doing whatever, and you're then getting the members behind going, oh, you shouldn't be here and blah, and
Hmm.
it's really off-putting, and
Hmm.
I find it off-putting for me, like
Yeah, yeah.
people, I've been members of clubs, I've played in all this, and I find it off-putting sometimes when. There's people going, oh, they're taking too long, and
There's nothing worse than being somewhere and feeling like someone else doesn't want you there, like in
yeah,
whatever
yeah.
extent that may be. That's the
For
feeling
me,
that they're creating.
if golf took 6 hours,
It
right,
is what
for a
it
round,
is.
I'm happy with that because
Mm.
the last thing I want to do is go back to reality.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I'm on the golf course. I'm away from work. I'm away from reality. I'm not at home. I'm not this. Like nothing else matters. I
yeah,
haven't got to deal with bills or
yeah, yeah.
life politics, the world. Nothing. Nothing else matters.
Just me and
So
this golf
why
ball
do
and trying to
yeah
get it in
why
that hole as
so
quick as I can. Yeah.
why do I want to go home? Like
Mm.
I don't want to go back to that
Mm.
because the world is a horrible, is a beautiful place, but it can be quite challenging. I feel like, with everything going on at the moment, to go on the golf course and spend 5 hours playing golf, I'm like, sign me up.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love it. Like, I can stand here and chat with the boys while we're playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If we're waiting, it doesn't matter.
Well,
We're
I can
here,
have a
and
sandwich. I'm good.
and
Yeah,
that's it. And that's for me. And it's I think it can be really intimidating golf as a new
yeah,
sport for people, and I think that there definitely needs to be an introduction, a better way of getting people into it. Because I remember like getting back into when I got back into golf, I still found it intimidating, and I played juniors. I knew what I was
mm.
doing, and I came back in at an all right level.
Yeah, yeah.
I think, well, what was my handicap? I've got my clubs, went out, and then I did 3 rounds in one week, and I came back in at like 14.
Right. Yeah.
So
So you
I
picked it pretty.
picked it
Yeah,
up pretty, yeah.
yeah.
And I still found it really daunting going to clubs.
Mm.
It's still kind of like, is it going to be clicky? It's
Yeah, yeah.
finding, because there is that stigma within golf clubs with members and stuff. It can get quite clicky and that. And I think,
Of course.
not all golf, is like that. Like it's why I fall in love with Old Thorns. And I can't
Mm.
stop talking about it because it's a hotel resort, we've only got 200 members.
Right.
They cap it at that because they obviously need the pay and play slots throughout the rest of the day. So we get
Yeah.
our little allocation in the morning, and that's a like top bunch of lads.
Right.
No clickiness, really relaxed, super chill. There's no sort of like, yeah, there's no, they obviously have their people there to do their meetings and the stuff
Yeah, of
that
course. Yeah,
the important stuff and organising events and things. But yeah, it's super relaxed. And
it's not.
I have never enjoyed golf more than playing with them guys at the weekends, because I just go on, I'll put myself in the comp, I get paired up with whoever,
Yeah,
and it's just fun and
yeah,
enjoyable, and that's what that is. And then when it's like that, golf is just the best thing ever.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think like talking more to the point of like, tradition golf stuff like that. I always think like there should be clubs should sort of recognize where they are in
Yeah,
like the grander picture of golf. And I
yeah,
think like when it comes to like your local courses and stuff like that, they should probably recognize that you know, they're not Royal St George's, you know? They're not they're not St Andrews, they're not Oakmont, that they're not Pebble Beach. They are like a local golf course for local
yeah,
people. So
yeah,
then their expectations of what people should stick to as far as like going way back of the traditions and stuff
yeah.
should be catered to what audience they have, essentially.
Mm.
Whereas like but I do maintain that I still really like places like Singapore's and stuff where they still make you wear like long socks. Like
I
in
think
my
I
mind,
think
I
yeah,
I, I love
and
that.
like I think it would be quite cool, because I don't think I've ever worn long socks.
No,
So
they make you
I
buy
think
them from the clubhouse if you don't have them.
yeah,
It's like,
and I think it'd be quite fun for the day, because I think I'd just be like, "Oh mate, look at your stupid socks." You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah.
I think it'd just be. I think for me that would be. I do like them little bits like
It's
that.
like
But
quirks. It's quirkiness of golf, isn't it?
yeah,
Like some of it.
that's the difference. That's the different bit. That there's things like that that I do like, and like, especially it's yeah, if you've got golf courses that have come from ye old times of way back
Yeah, yeah,
when, like having them things in it works. When
yeah,
you've got clubs that have been built in like the early 90s and 2000s and stuff like that,
yeah.
it's kind of like,
Recognize where
let
you are.
yeah, make these modern. You know,
Yeah,
it's like almost going, like that's them courses are like, I'd say it's like going to Warwick Castle for a day. Do you know what I mean? Like
mm.
you going to see a bit of history,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's kind of like, that's what I like about them sort of courses, because
I
you can
only
have
realised
some.
they still did the long socks because I saw Peter Finch's video of when he went there to try it out.
One of my favorite YouTubers.
He's my
Oh,
like UK based. He's my favourite of the
mate,
UK
well,
based
right.
guys.
To me, like
Yeah,
the only people that I now watch on YouTube is, I watch Bryson. I absolutely
yeah,
love Bryson, because I think he is like, he had such a bad rap when he first started. Everyone was like, "Who's this guy?
yeah,
Trying to break the mold, trying to be different, pushing the
yeah.
boundaries, this, that, and the other." And then when he won, what was it, the US Open
hmm
recently? When was that?
Yeah,
It was last year, wasn't it? Yeah.
yeah. When he won at Pinehurst, yeah, beat Rory,
And
didn't
he's got the trophy and he's
he?
taken it to the crowd, and then people put their hands down. I was like, my man, like, I
Yeah.
love that. And that's why I like his content, because it's just you see his quirkiness, doesn't hide any of it. It's just genuine, really good
He always
content.
says I'm a weird guy, doesn't he? He's like I'm
Yeah,
a bit of a weird guy, and he still is. Like he still says like weird, like when he gets asked at press conferences about things, and he just puts it in a way where you can tell they're like,
yeah,
what?
yeah, exactly. And
But it's great.
he's very well. But I love Peter Finch. I
Yeah,
love him putting out all of his comp content.
so
I
good.
think
Isn't
is
it?
fantastic, because I think this like, there's so much now where, for me, I bet, like, in all honesty, I barely watch any kind of YouTube golf now.
Mm.
Because I think it's very regurgitated,
Yeah, they're
and
all copying each other's sort of like
yeah,
yeah,
and I think there's so many times that you can do like a 9-hole match, or a course log and things like this. I think there's been that wave now, and
yeah,
seeing Peter Finch doing the content, I think is just like it's unreal.
Well, he's
Like
always
they've done
maintained, hasn't he, that he's like
so
a
well.
playing professional. And he's
Yeah,
like, I feel like as a playing professional, you should play
yeah.
competitions.
And
Mm.
I just like as well, like he's very independent as well. Like I know
Yeah,
obviously he signed up with Titleist, but then that's
yeah,
something that he needs to do for revenue reasons, as well as for comp funding and
it's cool, isn't
whatnot.
it? I
But
mean, it's cool as well, isn't it? Like, let's face it,
yeah, of
like
course,
it's
yeah,
cool.
like
Isn't it?
having any form of brand deal, if you believe in it and you like it, is good. But I just like he has set up his own media company and
Yes,
he's got
yeah,
his own guys in and he's got everyone in there and he has created this team and he's built that up and brought them with him. He's not sold out to a big like I don't know, he
yeah.
might be part of a media company, but
I think I think it is just all Finch Media, isn't it? I think
I think that is, and that's what I just I've followed Peter Finch from day dot,
yeah.
and I actually met him. It was the BMW Pro Am at Wentworth.
Was that the one last
It,
year?
it would have been I think it was like 23 when he was in it. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
2023, 24.
Yeah,
That
I
one.
think yeah. My
Uh,
mates were there last year, and they met him. They met him last year, and
yeah,
they said it was unbelievable, like
and
just
it's just
ripping drives.
just such a genuine guy. Like he finished his round and just was there talking to people. Just
Nice.
super genuine, super kind, just really nice, and he had the time of day with people. And he's just played like 4.5 hour, 5 round or whatever, and
Yeah, yeah.
then and just having the time of day with people, and having photos with people as he's walking along playing golf. And I just was like, you know what, this guy is like, he's not let it get to his head. He's not got I'm the big I am,
No, no.
and I just love that. He's very inspiring as a content creator. He
Mm.
is very like a lot of love for Peter Finch. Yeah.
Hopefully he does it tomorrow.
Oh mate, yeah, 100%.
So it'd be quite something to see old Finchy in the Open, wouldn't it? That would be.
I really do. Like I love the qualifying video that he did.
Yeah.
Because you could see the difference in style of like the previous ones. He had more sort of interaction
Hmm.
well, in between shots. But this was very much like in the zone in the moment, and
Complay.
he voiced
Yeah.
over it, and I was like, you could just see how much that meant to him,
Oh
and
yeah.
then for him to do like oh, there's my headphones gone.
That's all right. I can still hear you. You're good. I think we just threw the.
Hello. Okay. Yeah, for him, like that was, you could see how much that meant for him because he's been at it so many times, and I think it's one of the things where it's really for him he's putting himself very much in everyone's hands with this because
Mm.
it's not only is he going for something that is very 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 difficult, he's then putting it out there for the whole entire world to see. And if he blows up, do you know what I mean? It's not only the weight of that on his shoulder, but he's got then the flack or whatever and from the
Yeah, yeah.
world, and fair play to him for doing that. Like it's yeah, I really hope he gets through.
Oh, absolutely, mate. I think just being there and playing tomorrow is like pretty special, really, isn't it? So
Yeah,
I think
but
there's gonna
it's
be plenty of people keeping an eye on it.
yeah, it's a tough field with like because a lot, like you had what last year at like Burnham and Barrow, they had the Open qualifier there. They had, you've got people like Justin Rose. Like I think Justin
Yeah,
Rose was in that one. So
he
you've
was.
got some serious boys that are going through, and I'm not sure how many spots are available from that
I
qualifier.
think there's five. I think there's four qualifiers across the UK and 5 spots per qualifier, I believe.
Like if you it
Yeah.
makes it's such a tough thing then because if you've got like live players in there as well that are trying to qualify
Oh
for
yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah.
it makes it it
You're gonna have
makes
the
it
likes of
really
like Lee
hard.
Westwood, Poulter. Do you know what I mean? They're all gonna be there.
Yeah,
Like
that's it.
And they're not at the peak of their powers, but those guys can
Yeah,
still go out and shoot a 65 if they wanted to. Do you know what I mean? Like they've still got it in the locker.
yeah, 100%.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the weather's really doing tomorrow. If it's going to get particularly windy up that way or not. Because I think he's playing up in Dundonald, isn't he? So
Yeah.
I'd imagine it'll be windy.
Yeah, I think he's got ties. He's got ties with it, hasn't he? With that
Right.
course, I think he knows it. He
Yeah.
knows that course well. He's played there a lot, so
Yeah. Yeah.
it's not. I think he's given himself the best, like the best opportunity he can go into a course that he knows. He's not playing it blind. You know, he knows the greens well.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Mini
all
driver
right.
in the bag.
Yes, mate. Mini drivers. See what I'm saying?
I'm going to explore it.
Everyone
I'm going to explore it.
drop driver get bag themselves a mini or like an R7 quad from 2008 and just have fun.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
That's it.
I'm gonna explore. Like you were saying with brands that have been good, like Crank with this
Mm,
podcast and me have been unbelievable. Like just like you said, one of those brands that aren't looking for a lot from you other than the fact that they just want, you know, to see you enjoying the product and then through that same thing. Crank have done basically the same thing
that's
with
awesome. I didn't realize that they were actually like part one of the
yeah.
sponsors and helping. That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's a really cool thing. That.
it is awesome, man. I couldn't believe, to be honest, I've had Lance Reader who owns Crank, he's been on the
Mm,
podcast and he did like he gave like well over an hour of his time just talking me through like how he created it, um, what makes his drivers so special, the
yeah,
Bryson stuff, because that's
yeah,
big as well. Like so, Bryson isn't paid a penny to play Crank, like not a
really,
penny. Yep, no.
believe
So
that.
basically, to tell the story like short, him and Carl Berkshire were like when they were training for long drive together.
Yeah,
They were at Bryson's place and they had the Cobra sponsorship at the time.
right.
And they both smashed 40 driver heads in 2 days
Okay.
of the Cobra heads. And Carl Berkshire like turned to Bryson and said like, might be worth like giving Crank a call because a lot of the guys use Crank and the heads are known for just not breaking
Yeah,
essentially. Like we can't just keep going through all these heads. You know what I mean?
mm,
It's crazy. They won't be able to keep up with it.
yeah,
So Bryson gave Crank a call. They sent out like a couple of heads like straight away to him, like try
yeah,
them out. Bryson's on the phone like 2 hours later, like, okay, sorry, I need to know what's in this head. Like, what are you doing?
yeah.
And he said, I basically told him, he's like left a couple of details out because that's my personal, like
It's
that's
a
our
secret
thing.
sauce, isn't it? You can't give away like mama's
No,
secret sauce from back in the day. Do you know what I mean?
especially
Like,
when Bryson starts making his own drivers and stuff. It's like, no, we need
yeah,
to keep some
that's
of this
it. Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
back a
yeah,
bit,
yeah.
mate.
He's there just
But
to be like,
yeah,
we'll
yeah,
get
yeah, yeah,
that.
exactly. He's like, right, guys, next product. No, but um, and from then on, um, Bryson was like, "Can I try the fairway woods?" Sent him
Yeah,
those. He was like, "Again, these are the straightest things I've ever hit. That I need to know more." And basically, Lance just said like, "That's all we've ever done. It's just, the
yeah,
clubs are free for him, of course, but like, we just send him replacement heads. He puts the shafts he wants on them." His grips, everything like that. But the head's Crank and he's still using it to this day. And I think that's cool. Like when I see all these like players with these big like brand deals and stuff when it comes to clubs, like I get it because especially at lower level, like they need the money. It's kind of like a genuine need of what they have, and to be aligned with a tailor-made, a Titleist, whatever it may be, is cool. But
yeah,
then you see guys like really struggle with like. And I got a bit of backlash for this with the Rory thing because I basically put out a post saying I don't see why someone like Rory signs a club deal. Like Rory should just go and play the best clubs for him. Like that should just be simple as that. I know obviously for his
yeah,
brand being associated with TaylorMade, it
yeah,
all kind of makes sense. But and I basically said he's sort of almost being forced into the QI35 and doesn't
yeah,
want it.
yeah,
And he's gone back to the QI10, but they can't,
yeah,
whether on purpose or not, I don't know. They're not seeming
yeah,
to find the right balance of what his previous
yeah,
QI10 had. And
yeah,
someone said they don't force him into like this guy got pretty
yeah,
irate with me, like proper keyboard warrior stuff was like they don't force him into anything. And I was like, the press conference, he turned around and was like, "I'm playing a tailor-made driver." When he was asked, and they were like,
Yeah,
"Which one?" And he's like, "Just come and see me hit balls on the range, you'll see." I'm like, that shows that there's an uncomfortableness of the fact that
yeah,
he's not in the QI35,
yeah,
right?
100%. Yeah.
But I think everyone's pretty aware. The QI35, all the numbers on testing, it wasn't as like it just didn't test as good as the QI10.
I just never rated them. I don't. I like the stealth, the original stealth, the first one.
Yeah,
Horrible.
right. I
I,
never
I,
hit that one.
I feel like I've hit all like the new stuff, and I just don't like it.
Right. Yeah.
Really don't like it. It just I don't know what it is. It's like you hit it on the face, and you just sometimes you just can't feel where you're hitting it. Like you should
Mm.
know if you've nutted it out the middle,
Yes. Yeah.
and you should know if you've hit a heely one or a toey one. But sometimes I
Yeah.
was like, I cannot feel this.
Yeah. It's
I
dull.
didn't like,
I don't know. I
yeah,
do.
I just didn't like it.
But it's the
And
regurgitation, isn't it? It's like every single year there has to be another club, and that's the
yeah,
one thing that I really liked with Crank and their story was like he's like, look, I've done 18 different iterations of a Crank driver. He's
mm,
like, but it's not every year. He's like the latest one, like the Fire. He's like, I haven't changed that driver in like 3 years.
mm.
He's like, because I genuinely thought I can't do better than that. And then
I think they're pumped. You've seen a massive increase in like because I
mm,
remember when the AI smoke came out, and then I think it was with it like normally it was on a 2 year
mm-hmm,
cycle, and then it's now being pushed to a year and stuff. I just think it's too quick
yeah,
because you're just like especially when you're looking at like if you were to buy a brand new set, a full bag, you're looking at thousands, aren't you? You're looking at
it,
like
every year you just
a
over and
lot
over
of
again.
money
Yeah,
if people, and it's almost I feel like that within that year that your clubs are still fine and they're still bringing out like and how like with technology like yeah I do the club building stuff but I'm not a massive like tech head and
mm,
going into like like MOI and all this that and the other like I'm not a massive tech head on that aspect but I still like you look at some of the stuff that they put in it and it's like rebound frame technology and I'm
it's a
like
nonsense. Yeah,
some dude has sat in a meeting and gone like, "Oh, do you know what? I was sat on the toilet and I came up with
yeah,
this idea that I can
rebound
sell,
frame.
yeah, rebound frame and it's just and it's like that is not even a technology.
It's
Like
all
you're
this
just
like you're going to hit it 8 yards further. It's like, well, if I took
yeah,
that every single year from what you've said, I'm hitting the ball 460 yards now. So
this,
why is that not happening?
this is it. And I think there's a lot of that goes on with all this like extra tech that they're putting in there. And I think a lot of like there's a lot of marketing behind that. There's so much marketing behind it.
Oh
And
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
how much has that club changed
hmm
from last year? And
yeah.
how much am I actually going to benefit from that
Mm.
to
But it's like
then
the
me spend another 500 notes on a new driver. That's why I've not changed my mini
mm,
driver because I was like, I got that, and I think I'd been the mini. It'd been out a what? I think it'd been out like a few months or so, and then I started seeing the next range of mini driver come out. I was like, I've literally just bought this,
yeah,
and now all you've done is change the weights from being fixed.
yeah.
One between, you got two on the back. I can't remember if you've got two on there now. One. I think you've only got one weight on the back of the mini driver.
Mm,
Um, to then you've then got positionable weights, but in center, toe, and heel.
yeah,
And I'm like, are you gonna? Am I? Is that gonna give me an
yeah,
extra? Like, is it now? Like the increase in prop driver prices, you're looking at like more, from like Wilsons and stuff like that. With what we're in like the 300s are now in the five
yep,
hundreds,
yep.
450s. Is that extra 150? Is that what 10 yards is worth now? Is
Yeah.
another 150 sheets on a driver?
It's mad, isn't it? And you look at things like the carbon wood and stuff, like it's just like
Mm.
such a gimmick. Like it's like it's that, and then it's backed with titanium. So
Yeah,
it's the same thing. They've just whacked like a pretty sticker on the. Do you know what I mean? Essentially, it's
yeah.
almost like a pretty sticker on the front, and but it does look pretty at the same
It does.
time.
We can't talk because we're here with our fancy putters that have got all jazzy technology.
Exactly.
And then
Hey, 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 hey.
we're giving it all like, oh, look at this, and then it's like, oh man, my
Run a
putting's
golf.
rubbish, and then someone's got a banger of this like, oh,
Yeah,
the face balances, and I'm like, oh,
yeah, yeah.
that's it, you
Well,
know?
that's it. Like we're golfers, we're just looking for that 1%, basically.
Yeah, that's
And it's
it.
just whether or not they've captured it that year or not. I mean, it's like the mini drivers, like with the like you had the burner, obviously, like the retro burner that they brought out, and then they've immediately gone into the um what's it, the R7
Yeah,
version, and
yeah,
then you
yeah,
know
yeah,
it's going to be the RBZ next.
yeah.
Like it just has to be. There's going to be a white one with the little green
This is another
dashes.
thing about on the whole sort of branding thing with clubs, like players playing clubs and stuff. Like Tommy Fleetwood had the burner
Yes, yep,
and loved that.
yep.
And then did you see the fitting video?
Yeah, I did.
And it was just like, and he was just struggling. Like it was just, he just couldn't get
He's
on
like,
with
don't
it.
like it. No, don't like it. No. They're trying to
It-
dress it up as being like, oh, we just need to dial it in for him. It's like, no, just
yeah,
for whatever reason, this is not what
yeah.
the burner was doing for him. So just leave him alone. Like, let him play the burner. It's still tailor made. Like, why are we full ramming it down his throat that he has
Yeah,
to play this new club?
yeah. I think as well, it's like you see some of this like the specs and stuff from like people's bags and things. Like Rory was playing a driver and his like swing weight was like D6.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's just like all like it's just all head weight.
yeah.
And I'm like that must have felt horrible to swing. Like I don't
Mm.
the guy's got like probably like 50 mile an hour swing speed more than me and probably needs it. But like that I think there is them stigmas of like having that brand there and then him like just getting in with it and then he's got to chop it out
Yeah.
for another one.
Especially
So
when like their driver builds are really unique as well, because you see like I think Trotty Golf's quite good for this really. You see a little bit more
mm,
like behind the scenes on the builds and stuff. And I know obviously they can like when they put like the hot melt in and stuff, they can kind of do weight on that and everything.
yeah,
But where that where that falls, it isn't an exact science. Do you know what I mean? The weight is, but
yeah.
where that necessarily falls in the head, it can't be an exact science unless they've got X-ray
No,
like
no, 'cause
looking in.
if you're running it like if you're running it into a head,
Yeah,
you can go in through a certain point. So like some clubs will have like certain points that you can drill out and
right.
then replace that with a bung, or you can go in through weight
Like the
port.
weight ports.
But if that's like on the size,
Mm.
it's going to have to trickle down. So you're going to have some rigid. I can't say the word residual weight.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
but it isn't a, you kind of like you learn with the hot melt guns like okay like if I squeeze it to this point here that's a gram
right.
you kind of learn through it's very much just it's
Feel based sort
a
of.
feel base yeah you can feel it in the head so
Right,
you because it comes out so hot that when you put it in there you can feel the head heat up so you can kind you know
right,
where it is then
right, right, right.
and you kind of you basically have to like hold it until it goes off. It's rack glue, that's what it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
originally intended for. But
Right.
it was it's yeah, you just you have to become one with the glue gun, and
Okay,
then
yeah, yeah,
someone
yeah.
else's glue gun will pump out differently to your one that you've been using. So
Okay.
you kind of it's very much a Jedi Knight skill, really. I think more than
Nice.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like one you have to get a certificate for over a certain amount of time. You know,
Yeah,
this
it's a
one.
Miyagi thing. It's like a like a
Yeah,
karate kid, wax on, wax
yeah,
off. Like
yeah.
like it's the chopstick moment. It's that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
very much that one. So
Okay, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, yeah. I just, yeah, just for whatever reason, it just wasn't working for. I mean, he played better, obviously, last
Mm.
weekend again, didn't he? But that's a whole other no conversation, isn't it? Of like, for me, just let Rory go off into the sunset for the next year and let him just enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it, I think his reaction to everything has been because he's reached his like Everest and he's still getting criticism, and I think
yeah,
he's like, all right, fine, I'm just going to turn heel on the whole
yeah,
tour and just be the bad guy. Then that's fine.
yeah.
Like, let's do that.
'Cause
You
there's
know?
been a lot of it where like I think he had like a big hangover from the Masters, didn't he?
Yeah,
Because imagine for that long wanting to get the Grand Slam and then it
yeah.
happened.
Hmm.
You just got to be like, now what? Like depleted, don't know. Like you just, it must be a complete and utter like,
Even the way it even the way it happened. Do you know what I mean? Like that final round was
mm,
it was just fairy tale stuff, weren't it? I mean, you couldn't have
yeah,
written the script for it. The fact it's him versus Justin Rose
yeah,
in a playoff, like Rosie came out of nowhere on that day as
yeah.
well. And
I
like,
thought he was going to bottle it. I genuinely,
yeah,
I was saying to people, mate, we were like back and forth on WhatsApp, and I was
yeah,
like,
yeah. It's like,
no, so he's done. He's going to do his bolt. Like, he
I knew he
can't.
was
Like,
going
he
to miss
can't.
the putt on the 18th. Like, it's
Yeah,
like this is never going in this part. Like, there's too
yeah,
much on it. It's not going in.
yeah,
To be, and that was what was made because like even like the way Rosie sort of like came up and obviously it's Justin Rose. It's always going to be done with class. You know what I mean? He's just
yeah,
that kind of character, isn't he? But like, even him coming up and sort of demanding that sort of like there was a bit of like people move so the shadows and
yeah,
all this stuff wasn't on the tee box. Like even all that was done with a bit of like almost slight like gamesmanship of
yeah,
like I'm gonna own this stage now. Like step
yeah,
aside. But for Rory to play that like that playoff hole the way he played it was just. Like
yeah,
to have to hit the imitation shot that he just messed up
yeah,
and to do it, execute it like perfect
yeah,
was just like man, like that. His talent levels are like so like far above the
yeah,
majority of the field, probably barring Scotty.
yeah,
Like he should have the ability to just win week in week out.
yeah,
But I discussed it with I had my mate James on who's like he was one of the first people who I went to the range and like kind of fell in love with the idea of where you can get to in golf.
yeah,
Um because he was just one of these guys that would just every single shot would be this tight draw and just the same ball flight over and over again and it would just
yeah,
be like poetic to watch in the night sky, just like going out. And he was sort of saying that's what makes Rory Rory though. Like it's drama. He
yeah,
said like you can think like why is he not doing it week in week out? He's like that wouldn't be Rory McIlroy. He's like
yeah,
you would never get that 7 iron from
yeah,
another player on
yeah,
tour.
yeah. And I think it would be boring as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Imagine if he was winning week in, week out and just be like, oh, Rory again, oh, Rory
yeah,
again. Do you
hmm
know what I mean? It's nice when you get the people that come through and I think, but then that's what makes golf the hardest sport, doesn't it?
yeah,
Like it's if you think about it, what
100%.
is it? Six people have done the Grand Slam,
Hmm.
and only one person I think has done it in a year or done
Yeah,
it like yeah,
yeah,
I think it
yeah,
is. I'm not. I don't quote me on that, but like Tiger, I know Tiger was close to doing it all in 1 year and then he didn't,
yeah.
and
Did Tiger
then.
do it in like a calendar year or something, or wasn't it?
Yeah, he did it. He did it. Yeah, he did it like one in. I think it was 2001 and two.
Yes. Yeah, it wasn't in a season, it was in a calendar
Yeah,
year or something like that.
calendar year. Yeah, and
Yeah.
so yeah, that's what it makes it super hard. But I
Yeah.
think who would you like to win like a grand? I think I'd like someone really like controversial,
Yeah, part of me
like Wyndham Clark or something. He can like
yeah.
smashing his way through like locker rooms to a Grand Slam.
Yeah, I don't want to like. There's like players like because they talk about like Xander is like and stuff like that. Like he just doesn't interest me. Like I'd like Patrick Cantlay to never play another golf tournament ever again would be great. Like yeah, I would like to see. I'd like to see someone just my dream would be someone just come out of nowhere
Mm.
and win like two in a year,
Yeah,
like almost like a JJ Spawn sort of style sort of setup, where he like kind of came out of nowhere, wins like the US Open. Imagine how he goes and wins the Open, then suddenly you're like, wait a minute, could JJ Spawn do a career Grand Slam? Do you know what I mean? That's kind of crazy. I mean, for me, the guy who's like missing one now is probably like Tommy.
yeah,
Like I feel like the emotion of Rory winning his Masters would be similar if Tommy manages to get over the line at like Portrush.
yeah.
That would
I
be
I think like it must be so hard going, that long and having that many top tens
yeah.
and not having a win.
It's devastating, isn't it? Like it's just
And
to be as good as he is at golf as well. Like
it must have meant like mentally just like if we like for me if I'm having a nervous breakdown
mm,
on a Sunday because I've not shot my score at 36 holes at Western Supermare,
mm,
what are these boys going through?
it's
Like
crazy, isn't it?
that must be and then to the moment you step off that course, you're gonna get it from the media.
Yeah, yeah, and they're gonna feign like this sort of like you know such a shame it didn't happen, but they're just
Yeah,
searching for that blow up moment. Do you know what I mean? They're like
yeah,
Bryson, like after he misses out on the Masters, like. So did you
yeah.
talk to Rory much? They like they've watched him all day. They know they didn't talk, right? Like
Yeah, that's
everyone's
it.
pretty
Yeah,
aware they didn't talk. And Bryson's he's gonna give you a weird response. Do you know what I mean? He's
yeah,
gonna be like, oh, just want to be my friend, all right, I want to be my friend, not my style. It's just like such a terrible response.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Everyone was like moaning about it. And I was like, well, cool. Like, it's like, if I was in that situation, it's like when I played my comp, I know, like, I'm trying to compare myself to PJ Pros here, but when I play my
Do it.
comp, I don't, I don't really like talking much.
Mm,
For a guy who's really like bubbly, chatty, outgoing, I
getting
get
a little
quite,
bit locked in.
yeah, just I like being in my own head
Yeah.
because there's a lot going on in there and I need to quiet it down. So kind of like by me kind of like getting in there and just talking with it, I think is quite I
You're giving
kind
it
of
full Tiger Woods out there. People are
yeah,
like, how the family, and you're like that. They're good. They're
yeah,
full fun.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah. And then I always try, I notice it like halfway around because then like because you're typically playing threes, the other two are just talking amongst themselves, and I'm being rude, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just in my own bed, and then I'm like, yeah, yeah, you have that bit, but yeah, I wouldn't expect them on a final day when they're that close to be going out and being like, you going Triple-A after this, or do you know what I
Oh
mean? Going to
yeah.
Matty D's or whatever. Like, how's the missus? Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be doing that. Like,
No, especially like Rory and Bryson aren't like it's probably not mates off. Do you know what I mean? They're not mates off the course. Do you know what I mean? There's not like that sort of like thing there of like a comfortableness.
yeah.
So, it's
But I
just
love, I
never gonna
love
be
the
that
difference
vibe.
in the characters though, because like
Yeah.
when the media showed him coming off the course, and like Rory was like, he was like giving like, it was almost like Vader, like walking through, just like in like
Yeah.
this like death walk of just
Oh,
like I'm just, I'm like,
yeah.
I'm talking to no one, and Bryson's like, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, woo! Like this.
He's just so happy people like him now as well, isn't he? Like I think that for Bryson's such a huge thing to have like a fan base
Yeah.
as well.
I've kind of gone off Rory. I'm going to say it. Like
It's fair
I'm a
enough. I
bit.
mean, I think a lot of people have, and
Yeah, I think it's not because I'm just like not because he's doing. I just don't. It like me when I watch golf. I like watching Bryson because it's a show. It's
mm,
fun. It's interactive. He's talking to the guys after the people and stuff. I like the people that are fun to watch.
yeah, yeah,
Kind of like you know but you can't at the same time you can't criticize the guy because it's the biggest thing in his life. Like he
yeah.
was so like desperately wanting to win that. I
Yeah.
probably would have done the same thing.
I think there's a lot of like bitterness in Rory as well, like that he's had to like hold in because everything that happened with like Liv and he was like the PGA poster boy, and then they basically like kind of threw him under the bus a bit,
Yeah,
obviously, as well, with like not even telling him that there was going to be a deal on the table. And then he's like a deer in headlights in front of the media. But he still kind of had to maintain this facade of being like, I'm a PGA guy, like none of this matters. Who knows what offer was on the table for him? Like he would never probably admit that there was an offer, but there was obviously an offer. I think the rumor has it that there was an offer for Tiger of like 1 billion
Yeah,
to go over to live. But like Tiger, like it's different, right? He's got like a legacy,
yeah,
and he's got all, he doesn't need it. None of them need it essentially at that point, but it's a different kind of setup. Whereas Rory, it's like that's a
yeah,
huge pivotal moment in his career, because you look at the live guys now, and I mean, they're all doing pretty well through it.
yeah,
The guys that were coming towards the end of their PGA careers, your Westwoods, your Poulters, your Stensons,
mm,
have now got like this camaraderie of being part of like this Majestics team together, and they go and do all this media stuff. They're still playing regular golf, but also have family time. You then look at the guys that are at the top of their game, like Rahm's probably the one who suffered maybe the most when it comes to like his actual form and stuff. But you look at
mm,
Bryson, you look at Joaquin Niemann, I mean, all these guys, and they're doing pretty well still. They're still qualifying for majors. They're playing some of the best golf of their lives, and they've also got a reduced schedule, which frees them up
yeah,
to do other stuff. That probably is quite hard for someone like
yeah,
your Rorys and certain other PGA Tour pros that probably could have had offers on the table.
yeah.
So it's kind of like a
I think as well, it's like the people that like stuck by the PGA
mm,
turned down the offers, and then they were like, oh, there's that much, and they're
yeah,
like, I've just missed out on life changing money
yeah,
because
yeah,
and I think a lot of people, like it's the whole bit with like Shields signing with Liv.
mm,
Like, loads of people were like anti it and having a dig at him, but then like no, it's really weird watching how like some people's signings were like really like taken on board. Well, like Peter Finch, everyone loved the fact that he signed with Titleist.
yeah,
There's going to be a
Titleist,
few
yeah,
people that because obviously he was known for doing his tech reviews as well.
yeah,
So there'll be people that you'll love hate people with certain things. You can't win them all. But it was a really negative response with the whole like
yeah,
Shieldsy signing with Liv, and I actually like for me, it's made me rewatch him again
right.
because I kind
That's
of dipped
interesting.
off
Yeah, yeah,
from I dipped off from Rich Shields, so I was kind of a bit like, I'm just not feeling it. And I think
yeah.
now going into these bits and seeing him at the new events, the high production, the guys that signed for Live and all this, and I think the way I kind of looked at it was like I can basically get paid 7 times the amount of money for doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So I kind of like, well, like when people are like, oh, they're just selling out, and I'm like, but if we
If
all,
you were offered that, yeah, yeah,
but if someone offered me to turn up and put some like drywall on a wall, and they were going to give me
mm,
7 times the amount to go do it somewhere else, I'd be like, yeah, go
yeah.
on.
That sounds like me halfway through a drywall thing of what I would offer you to take over from me.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. But it's
It's the
like I
exact
think
offer I was willing to put on the table, actually, I think.
it all depends though. It all depends on the players that are like diehard that want the titles. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
If they want the titles, they want then and if money doesn't mean it, then go, then that's fine. But it's a lot. It's a massive amount of money. Like what, like Tyrrell Hatton got paid
yeah, yeah.
X amount for it. Like he jumped over
I think he got
and
like 60 mil on the table or something, didn't he, just to go or something like that? I mean, Ron was the big one. Obviously, it was like
yeah,
300 and something odd million. I mean,
massive. Though.
it's generational, isn't it? At the end of the day, like his kids are set up. their kids are probably set up after that. I
It's
mean,
the
it's
same with
just,
Cam Smith as well when he moved
yeah,
over.
he
He
just wanted
got
to fish more, didn't he? That's basically what he wanted to do. He just wanted to go fishing.
he wanted to be more local. Be out of chat. Be have and all their expenses are paid, isn't it?
Hmm. And you
You
look at people like Bryson, they got a lot of stick for saying, and Mickelson as well got a lot of
think-
stick for saying they wanted to grow the game because people were like, yeah, that's such a classic line of somebody who took a load of money and they
Yeah,
just want a way out of it. But you have to say with Phil's like engagement that he's done, um, with like the different brands that he's worked with, and now
yeah,
his engagement on YouTube and everything like that as well, with lots of like Grant Horvat and stuff like that as
yeah,
well. He is growing the game, whether people like it or not. Like there is more teenagers now being involved in golf because of
yeah,
that. And
yeah.
you look at Bryson, and actually, it brought me back to a point which I was going to bring up with you earlier, actually, because you mentioned about school and the fact that you really struggled with school.
Yeah.
Um, and it brought me to a point of what Bryson said that he wants to do with some of his money. I don't know if you've heard about this, but he wants to start a school. I think in Texas, he wants to start a school where people learn based on their passions because
Right.
he said he really struggled at school. He's
Mm.
like, I struggled in maths, I struggled in science, I struggled in like all different finance, everything, all different areas of like school
Yeah.
learning, basically. He's like, but I loved golf. He's like,
Yeah.
and then he said, I had to teach myself that actually I can learn all those different things through golf. So I can
Yeah.
learn maths through golf. So basically, like, trajectory and, like force plus, as science he could learn through golf. And he said, like, I just think the way schools are run is like an outdated way of doing things now, where instead you should find what someone's passionate about and teach them through that. I mean,
Yeah.
that would have probably been huge for you with school, wouldn't it? I mean, if someone gave you the opportunity to learn through something you
Yeah.
loved.
Yeah. I think so. Like I was very fortunate that like the school that I went to, I went into private education
Mm,
through school because my sister got, I believe my sister got a music scholarship as well. And then the
mm,
school that I went to, my parents were, I was very fortunate I got took out and put into private education for my, basically because of my ADHD
mm.
and dyslexia and whatever. And so we had a lot of access to good things, good
Yeah,
sport facilities, stuff like that. And I think there is still a lot of, especially with sport, I think that we, like when you look how the Americans do it, they do it so well. And it's like the college leagues, the high
scholarships.
school leagues, and
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
the whole town turns up to watch the high
mm.
school team play the football match.
Yeah.
Like nothing would happen like that in the UK. And I
No,
think
no.
that would, and they're setting up more and more and more out there. I think for pushing kids to do well in sport, and I
Mm,
think that we do it well, but
mm.
I think there needs to be more of that kind of like like college league, uni leagues. How many schools do you know of that have like golf teams? The only ones that I know of are the ones that you're then looking at like Eton. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like the high end bit. Why can't the local school in Pompey have some golf? Have a junior golf section,
That's
and
one
that.
thing that golf clubs should probably be like more praised for is like how accessible it is for juniors to play golf.
Hmm.
You look at some like very like lovely golf courses and it's completely free for like juniors to go and play.
Yeah. With
That's like,
Stokes Bay, with
yeah.
Frankie,
Yes, yeah,
unreal
yeah.
what they've been doing. Unreal what they've been doing.
Really,
Like
yeah.
having him, entering into the
Yes,
men
yeah, yeah.
club champs first comp. Because I remember like him, like Daz calling me up after with Frankie and that when he entered his first comp, and I was blown away by it. And I think it's amazing what they've done.
He was buzzing, like he was so sweet on here. Like he I just kept on catching you out of the corner of my eye, like, because I'd be occasionally talking to like Darren and Sarah, and like I'd just
Yeah.
sort of catch you out of the corner of my eye and be like that. Like give me a little wink like halfway through, and I thought, yeah, he's got a little something special about him, Frankie. He's got that sort of like
Oh,
he's got that
he's
kind of confidence, but he's also got, he's a nice lad as well with it.
oh yeah, he's just got that the he's just got something. You know what I mean? He's
Mm,
just got that spark. And it's like his knowledge of flags
mm.
is just. Have you heard of this?
No, no, not they
Oh,
didn't talk
God,
about
he's
the
got
flag
this
thing.
talent. He's got this talent, right? So if you show him any picture of a nationality of flag, he will
Right,
tell you it. Even the
really?
new ones, like the really like ones that are like obscure with like 1,000 like people on them, he knows it.
He's got it. It's
Yeah, you could
crazy.
just go rip and you've read them off like that, and he'd be like Zimbabwe, this, I mean that one, he'd be like that, boom, boom,
No
boom,
way.
boom. Yeah, man, like
I thought
it's
you
like
meant
Rain
like
Man.
flags as in like for like different golf courses, like as in
I know the countries. He's
countries. That's
the
crazy.
funniest thing I've ever seen because he is like, any random one like that, and you just swipe and he's there, like without fail.
No way.
Just encyclopedia of flags of countries. It blew my mind. I think that was the second time that when I met him.
Mm,
Um,
you found that out.
I found that out and I was blown away by it. I fell in love with him. I was just like, you are an absolute legend.
You know what
It's
his chosen subject would be on Mastermind then, right? Like, right.
flags. But that's
Flags
what
of
I
the
mean.
world.
And Hampshire have done a fantastic job for
Mm,
the junior section. Like we've got, I think Hampshire Golf has been brilliant for them.
yeah.
They do wonders for it as well. So I think definitely like going back to the whole kind of Bryson school and stuff. I think that would be wicked.
Yeah.
That would be
I think,
amazing.
they've done what they said they were gonna do, which everyone sort of doubted them for. And the guys that were at the tail end of the career, like, why can't they have like one final swan song and dine out on the fact that they were professionals for such a long period of time and legends as well. Like Poulter in the Ryder Cup was just an absolute legend for like his
Oh
entire
yeah, he
career.
was he was brilliant. When it was like I think it was the one in 2000. It was the
Medina,
that was it. And
yeah.
he's just like riling up the
Oh,
crowd
he's
and
going for it, yeah.
everything. Yeah, he's an absolute demon at match play. Love it. Love watching him. And that makes I think we're missing that kind of like that. I think we need that surge of
Yeah.
that iconic figure again. Because
I
since
think,
since Tyler's dropped off,
yeah,
who have we got?
it's true, yeah. Yeah, I mean, Tiger was just I think the crazy thing with Tiger was he was like probably he was the most popular like sportsman on the planet. So it was like he completely like went beyond the realm of golf and just became his own like entity
Yeah,
essentially. And it's so hard to recreate that now because you'd have to do that now in the modern like world with the way it is, you'd have
mm,
to be so extraordinary that it
yeah,
probably will never happen again. Like
yeah.
the Tiger effect will just never
And
happen again.
he did it without social. There was some form of social media back then. It wasn't what it
Yeah.
was today. There was media,
Yeah.
but he
It
didn't
was
do
like
it with
dial-up
like
broadband times though, wasn't it? It wasn't like, do you know what I mean? Like if
that's
someone was
it.
on the phone line, there's no chance you're going on the internet, do you know what I mean? It's that
That's it.
sort of like setup.
You'd be watching it on the, like the Golf Channel with like Cherie with her nice like 90s, early
That's it.
2000s like hair
Yeah.
going like Tiger Woods this. Like it's just that it's same with other sports like basketball, Michael Jordan. Like
Yeah. No.
there's not been I want that. I
Yeah.
want that next. Do you think we'll ever? I don't think we'll ever. I just don't. I
I
don't
don't
think
think it's
we'll ever have
possible anymore. I don't think it's possible anymore. I think it's same with like all sports, like football. I don't think you'll ever have your Ronaldo and your Messis again because
a.
the guys are like because of the way professional sport has gone,
Mm.
they've become professional to the detriment of character.
Yeah,
Um, like football's boring now. Like like it or not, football is not. It will never be as good as what it was in the '90s and
I'm
early.
not a football guy, so
Right.
I don't really. I know now about football.
Well,
When people start talking about football, I'm like foot sports. Yeah, that's me.
yeah, simple truth for you. It will
Yeah,
never be as good as what it was in the '90s and 2000s.
yeah.
Like that's it.
That's when I followed.
Yeah,
You know,
and that was
like
when it was at its peak.
and you had like like who were some of my favorite players back then? Um, oh, we're
It'd
going
have been
back.
like your Ronaldinho's. It'd have been
Like,
your
no, I'm going back. Well, I'm going back to like sort of like like late '90s, early 2000s. So you're thinking like John Arisa.
yeah.
So my dad is dad's Scouser
Well, no
family.
wonder you don't like football then, Matty. Like that makes perfect sense. Makes
So
perfect sense.
he's a die-hard Red fan.
Yeah,
My granddad, he was Red. His brother was a Blue. So there was that bit of diversity within the family
yeah,
of
yeah,
Liverpool Everton. So I got into football because of my dad for a bit.
yeah, yeah.
Played at school, obviously, but as I got older, I just kind of like fell out of love. It never was. Football was never. I was never really good at playing football. Played more
Sure.
rugby than I did football. I played
Right.
more. I preferred the physical sports.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
you know,
That makes sense.
fighting, boxing, bits like that. I kind of just preferred
Yeah.
all the contact sort of stuff.
Well,
So,
I'm a United fan, so like Man United fans, so like '90s, 2000s. It's
mm,
probably pretty biased, but for me, like that was the best era of watching any game of football. Like you could turn on any game of football and it'd be entertaining because it'd be end to end, be
yeah,
attack for the attack. There'd be goals. There'd be amazing goals. There would be like maestros on the pitch that would do unusual things. Whereas now it's become so structured where it's obviously far
yeah,
more impressive as far as tactical and everything like that, but it's
yeah,
boring. And you can see it like kind of across the sporting landscape, like
yeah.
tennis. I used to watch a load of tennis growing up. There's not as many characters in the game anymore, so it's not as interesting. Same things happen. They become super professionals.
I think with football as well, it's like remember when they like the drop ball and like
Yeah.
two guys were just shinning each other
Yeah.
over it, and it was a proper like, and you had like like Vinnie Jones,
Red cards were red cards. Like, get that
yeah,
guy off this pitch now.
yeah,
He has committed a crime. Do you know
yeah,
what I mean?
like
Like that's what it should have been.
um, was it Cantona who jumped into the crowd like footed.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, like, do you know what I mean? Like, you'd
No.
never have that nowadays.
The
Now,
guy takes his shirt off now and gets a yellow card for it. Do you know what I mean? It's
then
like,
and then the ref puts some foam on the pitch. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like that. Like
yeah,
it's
that
like,
solves it. Yeah.
yeah, can't cross this line, buds.
So
And
like, I don't know whether golf has had that same issue happen to it, whereas like they've just become, and maybe this will get worse as well because golf's probably only just touched the surface of professionalism, like as
mm,
far as like athletic pursuit. Because you look at like these new kids that are coming out of like college in America, and they all look like quarterbacks. Like the
mm,
golfers look like quarterbacks. They're big guys that drive the ball a long way. Do you know what I mean? Like they are units.
yeah.
So you wonder, will it sacrifice the personalities to for the pursuit of excellence,
Yeah.
maybe?
I want like I feel like I want someone that causes a lot of controversy. I want like
Mm.
not to like a Wyndham Clark level where he's like destroying locker rooms and stuff like
Yeah,
that. But
yeah.
like I want someone who's a little bit edgy, who is ruffling a few feathers, but
Mm.
still being respectful, but comes out of nowhere. And
Yes,
then
yeah,
everyone's like, "Whoa, who's this geezer?" And he's just, do you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like that sort of. I think that I kind of want that. I think golf needs that.
Like an Anthony Kim, like back in the
Yeah,
day when he came out of nowhere, and like I was watching one of his like live on the range sessions. It's on YouTube. It's well worth a watch actually. And obviously he's playing on Live now, and he talks about sobriety and stuff quite a lot as well. He's a
yeah,
good follow actually, Anthony Kim. If you don't, yeah, you
yeah,
probably already do already, but um, it was him and Tiger on the range with like an audience.
yeah,
And it was so funny, like listening to the difference in how like Tiger was like dialed in with like how far each club would go, what shape he would try and hit, the windows he would try and hit, and all this stuff. And
Yeah.
they'd ask the same question to Anthony Kim, and he's like, I mean, some days my pitching wedge goes 120 yards, other days it goes 160. I just wake up and sort of see where it goes, basically, you know.
I
And he's
hate
like,
them golfers because I want to be in. I
yeah,
really,
he couldn't care
oh,
less.
yeah, because it's like for me, like I hit golf balls every day pretty much. I
Yeah,
train, I practice, I do all this, I do that. And then it's then like you see the guy, it's like the John Daly, isn't it? He literally
yeah,
he's like cracking a
rolls
beer
up.
on the first. He's he's hitting it like a camel on the first tee. And and all he's had like he's been down Hooters the night before and he's just there bombing it. And he's
Yeah,
like hitting wedge shots in his and barefooted. And it's
yeah,
like I don't have that natural like ability. Like I hit a good ball, but no, like I would pay for that like natural ability like that of just being like whatever.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's basically it's such a good watch. Like well worth like checking out. It's like 40 minutes long.
Okay.
And they just sort of cut between questions and Anthony Kim hitting balls and Tiger. You can tell Tiger's like, damn, like this kid is unbelievable at golf. Like he's just
Yeah.
watching it. He's like, yeah, that's a good one. Which for Tiger's like the biggest praise you could possibly get in the world, right? Of
Well,
him
yeah.
just
Yeah.
saying
Of
like,
course. Yeah.
but it was just amazing to see the difference. But at the time, like Anthony Kim was like possibly the Tiger Slayer. You know, he was like the
Mhm.
next one, and obviously like one reason or another, it just didn't work out. Injuries and then also his own personal battle with addiction and everything like
Yeah.
that. It just didn't work out for him, and it's just nice to see him return to the game now and find a love for it
Yeah.
and to be well again as well and to be
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But it's like it would be lovely to see like somebody like that come out of the woodwork and just take the golfing world by storm. I just don't know whether because of the distance that these guys are now like driving the ball and stuff and how dialed in they are with their games, like
Yeah.
whether or not it would translate now. I mean, there's that what's that kid's name that won the amateur the Masters he won the silver whatever is it silver medal at the Masters the amateur top amateur.
Oh, I wouldn't know that one. I wouldn't know.
Oh, it was like it was really there was some really funny memes about him because he was like in Butler cabin with I'm pretty sure it was Scotty when Scotty won. And he was just sitting there like a deer in headlights. And he was like, he doesn't look like a stereotypical golfer. He's a little bit overweight. Like, oh man, what is his name? That's going to annoy
He's
me. You know what I
oh,
mean?
yeah, because they had him on Netflix, didn't they?
Yes, I can't remember
And
his
he was
name.
like, I can't remember his name either now. I know who it is now. Yeah, I know who it is who you're talking about. Yeah,
But
I like him. He's a
he's got a
really,
little something to him, you know. He's like,
I think it's because he's just a normal guy. Like when
yeah,
I think he was, they showed him on Netflix on the full swing, didn't they? And
yeah,
then he was like in his dorm room,
that's
like
it.
playing
Yeah.
Xbox with mates and stuff. And I was like, that's just a normal guy, and he's just absolutely smashed it. I
I
think
think with
that,
the introduction of like more media that these guys are doing, like even like someone like Brian Harmon, I really disliked Brian Harmon. And when he
yeah,
won the Open, I was just like, oh, man, that's just dead that he won the Open. That's an awful way to win the Open. And then I listened to him on a podcast, and he's like, yeah, he's like super chilled out, like not how I thought he was going to be at all. And he was just like, yeah, it is what it is. People don't like me. He's like, I'm 5'6". I hit the ball like 250 yards. He's like, and yet for some reason nobody roots for the underdog anymore. And it was such
yeah,
a good line because it was like, actually, yeah, why do I hate this guy? Like, okay, he even admitted the waggles got out of hand. Like because he just waggled the club way too often. Like he just
yeah. I've
had a
seen a
waggle
lot.
calendar, didn't they?
Yeah,
But
I've seen a lot of them. Like
yeah,
there was a
but he
lot of
basically said it kind
lot
of
of
got to
fit.
the point where it was like, it's working for me. I'm just going to keep waggling. Like, I don't care. Like, if I win the Open, who cares? But
Have you got any like weird like quirks to your game?
no, I've tried really hard to not develop them. I don't think I'm like the quickest. I don't, I wouldn't want to say I'm like the quickest golfer in the world because I
Yeah,
like to have like, I like to commit to a shot before I'm over it. That's like one of my new like processes before I hit a ball. Like I really want to see the shot I want to hit, and even if I don't execute it, at least I know that I've done it.
Yeah.
Um, no, I would say no. I'd say no, no, nothing particularly weird. I think sometimes I can stand over it a little bit too long, but that's just because I'm just trying to
Yeah.
get super comfortable. How about you? You got anything weird?
Um, I've been writing things with my arms. So
Okay,
I've been writing. So I've got
trust the
B.
process.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, so I've got BDE that I write on
Yep.
my glove and write on my arm, and that's big dog energy, breathe
Hmm.
deep, exhale.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause I have moments where I need that big dog energy, and then when stuff gets too much, I need to like because sometimes I can find myself that I just stop breathing. So I've got that on me. So
Yeah.
I've got it on my bit. I write it on my hand and on my glove, and I've got that. I've got like a Charlie Husk almost. You know how she kind of stabs at the ball before. Have you seen it? Like
No.
she kind of like she's very much with the club behind the ball, and it's kind of like up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
watch it, you see it like from our shots. I've kind of got that with my. I've noticed because I kind of see everything when you're editing and you film and you swing a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. 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 You see it.
See some little quirky things from it and waggles and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think I take quite a bit of time like over the ball. So when I actually dress the ball, I've got better at it because before I used to be really like over it quite a long time.
Right. Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you came away and I started filming because I was like, okay, this is going to be a really boring video because the video is only actually like 3 seconds of me hitting a golf shot, but it's 30 seconds long because I've
Yeah.
stood there under the golf ball, just looking up, looking down, looking up, looking down, looking down. So
I think
that was one of my bit.
I do I waggle my arms slightly just to release tension. That's like
Mm,
one of the things that I found's really helped is just to just like a soft waggle of the arms just to release tension. And I was going to say earlier about the putting actually, one of the things other than the putter that's really helped is when I had my mate James on, he basically was like, I've got this like putting secret that's not a secret, but I need to share it with you. And I was like, yes, do it now. And he's like,
yeah,
it's basically he's like, who's like the best pressure putter of all time? He's like, it's Tiger Woods, right? Like he's just
yeah.
the putts he needed to hole, he just did inevitably. And he said, so he said I just kind of like painstakingly like watched as many putts of Tigers that I could, especially from that like 8 to 10 foot range that he just had a knack of holing. Because he said
Yeah.
he's like James was a really good golfer. He was like a 3 or a 4, and he could play left-handed to a 10 as well. So he could play right and left-handed, which is just insane. He
Yeah,
basically had a like back
yeah,
injury and was like, I still want to play golf, so he just learned to swing the other way. Just just crazy. But he said like I knew I could get closer to scratch if I just hold a few more putts, like probably like one or two around, and I knew that I could get closer to scratch. He said one of the things he noticed about Tiger was, and it's something that everyone does, obviously, like they'll get over the putt, they'll set up accordingly, and they'll like look at the hole, look back at the ball, look at the hole, look back at the ball, whatever they may do. He's like, but Tiger didn't really do that. Tiger literally set up, got set, picked his line and everything like that, like he needed to, got set up, ready to hit the putt. He's like, and then he would literally just from this position just stare at the hole. And he said, like, for an uncomfortably long period of time. He
yeah,
said like 3 4 seconds where he was almost staring it down. And he said,
yeah,
and then he would just recenter back to the ball and immediately hit his putt.
yeah,
He basically like took that idea and just worked on it, and he came with the formula of staring at the hole for a long period of time, so that's all you're thinking of, and then readdressing the ball and completely clearing the mind, so not thinking of anything else, like
yeah,
not thinking of speed, nothing,
yeah.
and just hitting the putt. And he's down to like one, getting closer to scratch already, just
Really.
from doing that. And then I've implemented it since, and it does work. Like it just does
Well,
work.
I need that because I had a moment a couple of weeks back. where I had a pressure putt, and we were doing the county sevens, and I was in like the 20, yeah, it was 21, it was 22 holes of match play.
Hmm.
So we got, because you can't finish on half.
Yep.
So we got back round, had to go down the first again, carried on. And anytime I had a pressure putt, I was just not confident with it.
Mm.
And I had this tiny sort of like tap in putt to win the match. And I'm staring it down, I'm doing that, and I look back, but I didn't clear my mind. And as I went to hit the putt, all of it, like as I'm literally like coming like into impact, I just scream out internally in my head was Roy
Mm.
McIlroy of
Yeah,
when,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
don't know why that came out. It was like Roy McIlroy, and it just made me
You're
immediately
like,
think of him missing the putt at the Open.
you're immediately like,
And I was just like that, and it was straight
yeah,
past. I don't know why that intrusive thought came into my head, but
yeah.
that's the battle that I have is
On,
intrusive thoughts.
try this like next time, like putting green out playing or something like that.
Mm.
Honestly, I've found it really helps like clear my mind and almost get into like a like slightly like meditative state with it of just all I'm thinking about is the hole because like
Yeah,
as much as we want to get lag putts and get the ball within a certain circle and everything like that, like reality is you're not like none of us are even like professional golfers struggle with that. Do you know what I mean? Because that's a difficult thing to then.
yeah,
So if you're taking your circle from being this big to being this big, well, then all of a sudden it could be this big, and then it could be it's like
mm.
Scott Fawcett sort of decade golf stuff where you're changing your target, which makes it you know
Sure, yeah,
even bigger. So making it small and going for it. It
yeah.
just I've hold like way more putts from doing this than what I've
It's
ever
just
been
being.
used to
I
before.
think it's very much being confident. Like at the moment,
Yeah.
me if I have a good day putting, it's because I've not talked myself out of it. I'm committed.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
just in the right frame of mind. When I'm not in the right frame of mind,
Yeah.
then I might as well be putting on a crazy golf course. To be fair.
Yeah. 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 It's well worth checking out the episode with Scott as well. I had Scott on the podcast
Yeah.
a little while back, and he's brash. He's Scott Fawcett. He just that is his style. He doesn't sort of mess around with what he believes is the best system for golf, but implementing like some of his ideas and stuff definitely helps as well. So it's well worth checking out. You know, not that you need any tips from me, Matty.
I
Yeah.
need all I can at the moment. I literally need all I can because I'm in a bit of a limbo land at the moment. We're getting
Okay.
there. I've
Yeah.
got,
Yeah.
I've got a good force of people behind me. Got a good coach.
Yes. Yeah.
It's now it's all on me now. I don't think there's
What are you
anyone
at?
else.
What are you at now?
I'm
What's your?
so I've just crept up over the weekend to 4.6 now. I
Nice.
got down to 3-1, and
Wow.
then
Wow.
it crept back up just because of the. But then I've been like I said, I've been putting myself in comps all the
Yeah.
time that are like playing club champs week in week out. So
Yeah.
and the courses that like when I did the Open Men's Open at Rochester and Cobham, I'd never played that course. And I
Yeah.
didn't even do a practice round. So I'm going out completely blind
Yeah.
into a course that is set up to play hard.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna, if for me to go out there and shoot a 79 and an 82, I was really
Yeah.
happy with that.
Yeah. Oh, mate. Yeah. Absolutely. That's sort of quality golf at the end of the day if you're not playing that course
My
before.
bit
So
is that it's very much in the locker because that first round that I had at Rochester and Cobham, I went in completely blind, and I was two under par through 9 holes,
right.
and
Yeah.
then just lost it on the back because the back was really like it's almost like two different courses.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was kind of like the front was a lot more open, wider, and the back was narrow, blind tee shots.
Yeah.
Little dog legs, more finicky, smaller greens that are raised, bowl, long par threes, and yeah, it just didn't suit my game. So when I went out
Mm.
the second time, same again, really low score on the front, massive on the back.
Right.
So it's one of them. Just hopefully I can get it down like my end goal is I want to be into playing these open comps and competing with the big boys, the guys
Yes.
that are off the plus figures and stuff
So
like
that's your
that.
goal then eventually, right? To get to
Yeah,
plus.
to play against them guys that that are consistently going out there and shooting those scores. I know I'm not going to be like a clutch player or anything like that. I know that's never going to happen. But
Yeah, yeah.
these men's opens are the closest that I'll ever be to touring and playing competitive golf. And to get down to that sort of level would be like the coolest thing. So that's I always want to be the best at everything I do. I have to know the ins and out of it, the yeah, and I have to be the best at it. I think
Yeah.
that's always been my 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 thing with it, with any sport or anything that I've ever done.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I've stuck out with golf, just because it's infinite.
Yeah, absolutely, mate.
Everything else, the moment I get like remotely a little bit, that I feel like I'm slowly starting to nail it, I'm like, oh, I lose interest.
I can comfortably say, Matty, that you are one of the best guests I've had on the podcast. So,
Oh, thank you. Cheers,
absolutely,
dude. Thank you very
yeah,
much.
mate. No, like you said to me that you can chat and golf and stuff, which is always a dream for me when it comes
Mm.
to someone who's open and just willing to just talk about life, talk about golf, talk, their opinions, whatever they may be, and it's just
Yeah.
that's awesome. So thank you so much, mate. I really appreciate your time on like one of the hottest days in the UK that we've had in
Well,
like
I'm absolutely slightly tripping right now. I'm in a terraced house. It's absolutely hot either side. I'm in my front room. I'm melting, and it
yeah.
is. But I've loved every minute of it. It's been awesome, and I've never done anything like this. It's the first time I've done a podcast. First time I've ever had anyone ask me interviews about my golf questions. Me, so much
That's great, mate.
appreciated. Really, really enjoyed it. It's been absolutely awesome.
No, you're more than welcome, mate. It's been a pleasure, mate. Is there anything you want to chat like your Instagram page and any
This is
stuff you got
yeah.
coming up?
Uh, it's yeah, the all I've got coming up really now at the moment is just the clothing stuff that's coming, which is now that you see on there. I'll be doing the reveal of that in the probably next week or so. So you'll see all
Lovely.
the range of clothes that they're going to be sending me out, and then it's I need to take a little break from competitions just for this
Hmm.
month, July, just because I've absolutely rinsed myself with comps and traveling and doing 36 holes at the moment in July in one
Yeah,
day.
it's not
Like,
fun.
yeah, Sunday was brutal. I've got
Yeah.
like, I think you might be able to see the tan line
Oh,
across
there it
the
is. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, the
yeah,
brutal tan line. So I need to shave my head and get that out in the sun a little bit.
yeah.
But yeah, I think that's the comps will come back to the end of the year, but it'll just be the same as it really. Just doing what I'm doing as I'm doing at the moment, and nothing else is going to change. I'm not going to turn into
Great
a
stuff, mate.
salesman with the clothing or anything like that. It's just going to be me doing me, just me being me and me being genuine and real and keeping it honest. So.
Nice one, mate. Well, I look forward to seeing it. You can find Matty at Alt Golfer. Is there an underscore in there? Am I?
So my main page is Alt Golfer, and then
Yep.
there's a behind the scenes one that started up literally a week ago, which is Alt Golfer underscore BTS behind the scenes.
There it
So that's
is.
where you can see more ins and outs of my real life, and I'll probably post pictures of my cat and stuff
Yep.
like that on there. Yeah,
All the
I
stuff
don't know if you
everyone
had him
wants to see.
meowing in the background.
I,
I was
I,
trying to push him
I saw
down.
him just off to the right at one point. I was like,
Yeah,
hello, is that a little cat
yeah,
there?
he's a big boy. He's a big boy.
A
He's a rag
Mancoon?
doll.
Oh,
Yeah, he's a rag
Ragdoll.
doll. Yeah, he's an
Oh,
absolute donut, and
yeah.
he's struggling with the heat at the moment. So we've got several
Yeah.
fans in the bedroom. So
Friends of
yeah,
ours have got a ragdoll, and my little lad just loves just going in and just literally just holding him up and just wherever.
yeah, it's the same with him. You can like pick him up, and you can like I put him. You can just like wear him as a scarf.
Yeah,
And
they won't move.
he sits there and he's like that, and you can just like vogue with him, just like I was like cheek cat on your shoulder. So yeah, he's pretty cool to be fair. He's a bit of an idiot. So
That's quality, mate.
he'll no doubt wake me up, this morning at 4 o'clock
Yeah.
by sitting on my face, which is
Great.
yeah, not the greatest things. That's real life. No one wants to know about the golf. They want to know about me and my. That's it.
Well, great stuff. Cheers, Matty. I really appreciate it, mate. And
Cheers, dude.
and I look forward to seeing all the stuff coming up and when you get back to competing as well, but all the stuff in between.
Yeah, man, we have to do a recap or something, so that'd be wicked, or like later on down the line.
Absolutely, mate. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. Check back in. See if you're at that +1. Yeah.
Oh, I think I'll cry if I get to that point. I'll be,
Just be in tears the entire
I've
episode.
been dreaming, but it'll be there.
Nice one. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, dude.